It's the Bears and Buffalo Show.
And we're live. Bears and Buffalo podcast, season 7, episode 27. Back at it again. And we got a special guest for a special episode for the March Madness NCAA men's basketball tournament this weekend. Greggy T. What's up, Greggy T?
Good to be here. Greggy T. Checking in. March Madness. Let's get it.
Huge fan of the show. He's watched every episode, he told us. Just kidding. This dude hasn't watched a fucking episode all season. But we still needed to get him on the podcast because he knows his shit when it comes to college basketball.
He is the only Twarzak that knows ball.
He does know ball.
We'll put it that way.
Yep.
This is very true. Yeah, good to be back. Jeff and I haven't done a podcast since the post Super Bowl, or did we do one right after?
Pre-Super Bowl.
It might have been pre-Super
Yeah,
Bowl. I
we
don't
haven't
think we
done
did
one in
one
a
after the Super Bowl because who the hell was watching the Super Bowl? Not me. Nah, you're right. It did. I was just putting bets on the Super Bowl. That's all I cared about.
I didn't win one single bet.
Super Bowl bet?
Nope.
Really?
Didn't win
I
one
did
bet.
all right. I think I ended up making like 100 on the Super Bowl. But I, out of all my bets, I'm net 100. But it's still not bad. I'll take it.
That game sucked. So
I wasn't interested. I mean,
we're glad the Patriots lost, but hey.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody watched it to just make sure the Patriots did
That's
lose, so that we didn't have to hear those guys talk about how great they were again with their second-year quarterback. But yeah, we haven't done a podcast since then. Get back into it. We did our March Madness last year around the same time. And I thought we'd run it back, and this time with Greggy T. So we got a good show for you today. We're going to go through a few things. I did want to talk about the UB Bulls and their season briefly in the MAC. We'll touch on every game in the first round, as well as give you some key upsets to look for, and then our Final Four predictions, as well as our national champion predictions. So without further ado, we're going to get back into it here. So first thing I want to talk about is the UB Bulls. Ended up 17-15 in the MAC this year. They went 7-12 in conference play. Greg, I know you were at a few of these games with myself and your brother. Cody went to a couple. We went on to these early games earlier on in the season. They started off hot in non-con, dude. They started off 8-0. We watched them play. Was it Green Bay, Vermont?
Yep.
And they looked like. They look good this year.
They look like a tournament team for early in the season. Every year's different, but UB doesn't really get, obviously with the NIL day and age, they don't get the best talent. But I mean, I thought for sure with the way they started the season, you know, they might be legit in the MAC tournament. But obviously with Miami of Ohio and Akron, they're proved to be obviously teams with a little bit of a talent gap compared to them. But UB was one of the teams in the MAC though that probably should have beaten Miami of Ohio once, possibly twice, because both games were close, including the second one at UB, which went to overtime. So, but they had
I think they both went to overtime, didn't they?
I think they did.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think both
overtime.
games. You're right. Both games went to overtime, and I mean they got their butts kicked by Akron. But again, as Akron showed in the MAC tourney, they were probably the best team besides Miami. And UB had a good year, but it's hard. They haven't really had a great team since the team that beat DeAndre Ayton in Arizona.
Yeah.
In the first round, way back when. But that team was...
What was that, Jeff? 7 years ago?
That was I think 8 years ago.
Yeah, that team was great, though.
We talked about it just before the podcast when I'm like, because I don't see Arizona going far because I don't trust them because it feels like Arizona every year is one of those teams that bows out early when they shouldn't. And I was like, okay, well, remember that UB game? And that was probably the best UB team that we've seen in a long time.
CJ Massenberg, Nick Perkins. I mean, they had so many guys who were... great. So much good guard play, and that just shows.
If we do get talent too, they end up going elsewhere.
They go elsewhere. Yeah, exactly.
Kind even of like, our coach.
Yep,
I was going to say our head coach.
Kind of like Nate Oates when he went to Alabama. That's what happens. You don't have the money with now in the NIL, but even before that, you go to the bigger schools because you're going to get better players, better recruits. So
absolutely. Bulls started off non-con 8-0. They got to 13-2 halfway through the season, and then the wheels fell off. 4-13 in their final 17 games. They had close ones, like you said, with Miami, Ohio twice, UMass twice. They lost to Akron by 3 in round 1 of the MAC tournament. The team was led by Daniel Freitag at the beginning of the season, who was a transfer from Wisconsin. What you don't normally see is big schools coming to smaller schools. However, he got more playtime coming to UB. Obviously, there's a reason for him to come here. But then something happened, and halfway through the season, I think it was actually past the halfway point, after January 31st, he appeared in just 2 games. and he's been on the injury report. And nobody talked about this, but he was on the injury report pretty much after January 1st every game for UB. Undisclosed, because that's how fucked up the injury reports are in college basketball. They're not accurate. They don't tell you anything. It just says undisclosed. It's undisclosed. You can click on the guy's name. You'll never find a reason why somebody's hurt if it isn't just like that obvious, like hand or whatever. And that's just the injury reports in college basketball, or college sports probably in general. So Ryan Sable took over. He led the team in scoring this year, 18.8 points per game, shot 43 from the field. Yeah, it was just kind of a weird year for UB, starting off hot. Then their best player just doesn't play like for 2 months.
And that hurts.
And they go into the MAC conference and get bounced by what we believe is the better team in Akron, the best team in that conference. Yeah, it was just a weird team. Sable, who's a junior, Tim Obo, their center, is a sophomore, and Freitag, whether or not he comes back or not, also a sophomore, looks like the only returning production for next year.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, that's clearly their best two guards, probably their best two players, in Sable and Freitag. And that's what happens when you lose your best player, though. In Freitag, you think to yourself, next man up mentality, but it's easy for everyone to do that and say that until it actually happens. Missing Freitag for those games, then maybe they don't end 17-15. Maybe they end like 18-10, maybe 19-11. You don't know how things are going to shake out. Maybe they get a better seed and they avoid Akron, and then maybe they make a little bit of a run.
You get some momentum.
Exactly. But either way, I mean, UB, you know what? To win that many games, though, it sounds crazy because the record doesn't reflect it at the end of the year. But that's actually not a bad season for UB. 17 wins, so... 17
wins. It's just disappointing on how they started. Yeah. When you go 13-2 to start the season and only finish with 4 more wins.
Yeah, because
that's tough, dude.
When that start happens, you're thinking maybe UB is top 3 team in the MAC.
Oh, 25 wins.
Exactly.
Probably. You're looking at that. Also, the Freitag thing is weird though because it's being undisclosed, and there's still like no information you could find out even at this point in time after they've been eliminated and we're on our way into the NCAA tournament. There's some conspiracy going around that he won't even be on the team next year. So even though he is a sophomore and he could return, there's thoughts that he might enter the transfer portal again. And maybe he was holding out because there could have been maybe a lingering or a minor injury that he didn't want to make worse and play with the team, get hurt serious, and then not be able to go anywhere. So
that's fair.
My speculation is Freitag, unfortunately, might be gone next year, and it'll just be Sable and Obo as returning starters, and they're going to kind of have to start from scratch, unfortunately. No Freitag. Freitag was good, too, for us when he did play. So no Freitag. Either we get lucky and we get another one of these big school transfers that were riding pine during the season. Come here. I don't know if UB makes any more of a splash next year unless they get something.
Yeah, probably not. But Obo doesn't really do much. He's just kind of big,
and he doesn't get rebounds.
Yeah, that's right. He don't rebound the way he should, and he doesn't play the position. Like, he could be much more dominant given his size, but it's UB, so you never know who you're going to get and who's going to leave. And maybe they don't get Freitag to stay, but again, I don't think UB unfortunately is at the top of the MAC in terms of like, hey, we want to go to this school first. Probably, and now that Miami, Ohio had this season, we're probably thinking, hey, let's go there. Akron's always pretty good. Kent State's usually pretty good. So we'll see, though.
Speaking of Miami, Ohio, let's talk about them. One of the only teams to go undefeated in the regular season in a long time. I don't remember. I don't have the number in front of me who it was last, but did Gonzaga ever have an undefeated
Gonzaga was probably the last team to do it. I know that. I think it was a couple years ago, but we were like 32-0 the year we lost to Baylor in the finals.
Yeah.
I was at the game, so not a good experience. But besides that point, I do think Gonzaga was the last team besides Miami of Ohio to go undefeated in the regular season. I'm pretty sure they were.
Yes. So I mean, I'm going to open this up to discussion. Jeff, I mean, I'll let you start with this. A lot of hate coming out on this team. They don't deserve to be in it. They didn't play anybody. It's still impressive either way. Do they deserve to be in the tournament?
Absolutely.
I don't even think they should be in a playing game.
No, absolutely. We talked about this a while ago, and I had even said, and I'm not a big college basketball guy like you guys are, and I had said, I'm keeping tabs on Miami, Ohio, because they're undefeated. They're playing who they have to play, and they're beating them. That's all you ever ask for. Obviously they're not playing the big name schools, but at the same time, they're playing their schedule. They're winning their games. Yeah, they had some overtime wins But that's just how it goes sometimes. Like,
well, where those big schools will come from is in the non-conference before conference play starts. And the only way you can do that is if the schools agree to schedule with you. So what I heard is a lot of schools, bigger schools, were afraid to schedule with Miami, Ohio because of their returning production from the year before. They have a lot of seniors on that team. It's the same team from last year. Coaching is really good. So teams like Auburn or some of these SEC teams, Big Ten teams, big schools that these blue bloods that should have probably scheduled didn't want to schedule with them because they were afraid if they take a loss, it's worse than if Miami gets a win off them.
Correct. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like you can't discredit them for being undefeated just because of who they're playing. They're undefeated for a reason. They're good. They're a good school.
It's hard
like you said, they've got the continuity of their players. A lot of them have been playing together for so long. Their coaching is consistent. It's one of those things where they're a good team because of who they have, their coaching, and they're beating teams that they have to.
You're winning the games you should win.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the conference is built the way it is because all those teams are around the same skill level, right? And it's not their fault that nobody wanted to schedule them in non-con. So you do with that with what you will. You play the teams that you're able to play during non-con, and then you take care of business in conference play. Again, I think the knock on them was you go undefeated, then you lose the first round of the MAC tourney to UMass out of all schools when everybody thought that it was going to be Akron and them and Miami and Akron in the finals. And I think we were all on Akron getting the better of them. They only played Akron once during the regular season, and they only played Kent State once during the regular season, who I think are the next two best teams in the MAC conference. Yep. So they kind of did escape from playing the next best teams a second time because usually everybody plays each other twice. Yep. So it was kind of weird. What about you? They deserve to be in?
Oh yeah, for sure. You, like Jeff stated, you can only play who's on your schedule. So you can only play who's in front of you. And they beat everybody they were supposed to beat.
Yep.
And a school that maybe not many people know about, especially in UB's conference, to go 31-0. I mean, of course they should have been in. Regardless of the fact they lost in the first game of their conference tourney, you can't leave them out. You can't leave them out, even if it's for a power conference team like Auburn with 15 losses. Can't do it because teams from UB's conference don't go undefeated ever, let alone in the regular season. So to get to this point, to leave out a one-loss team would have been completely made the system look terrible,
look broken. And then
and then what do you do from now on? Like if it happens again. So they deserve to be in, and they deserve to be. I don't think they should be in a playing game. But again,
I got them at like a 12, dude, 12 or 13 seed.
Yeah, I don't think they should. Exactly.
You're 31-0, and then you lose one game. You're a 12 or 13 seed.
Yeah. If we're going based on because the NCAA with the net tool and the fact they worry about quad 1 to quad 4, were 30 of their wins against quad 3, quad 4, sure. But again, they're not scheduling Duke and North Carolina, nor are they playing those teams coming to their campus. So again, can only play who's in front of you, but they definitely deserve to be in the tournament, no question. And they definitely shouldn't have been in the playing game, I personally believe, because like they had an undefeated regular season. I thought they deserved an 11 seed, seems fair, but I thought they could have even gotten a 10 seed. But again, it's all about who you beat, and they didn't have that many great wins because, again, who's going to play them? But they deserve to be in. So.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, like, Auburn, Oklahoma had plenty of chances. Auburn had plenty of chances. These teams weren't able to make a splash in their own conferences. We can't just keep going down. What did the SEC have? I think 11 teams out of the SEC.
I think it was 10 or 11. But either way, you can't continue to. Again, those conferences, SEC probably the toughest conference this year in terms of talent and teams. But again, you also can't let 13, 14 teams in from one conference when a couple of them probably have 14 or more losses, and then Miami of Ohio has one loss. Nah, it can't happen. So
365 D1 teams, 31 conferences. You can't have half or more than half of one conference in the fucking tournament.
Yeah,
dude.
no.
I don't care how good they are or how stacked it is. I understand the watchability of it, and people want to see those big schools. But I think it's interesting, and people want to see some of these smaller schools in there too.
This happens. Here's the thing, though.
The upsets happen.
But this happens every year, though. 11 teams got in from the SEC. But how many of them are going to be left come Monday? You don't know that answer. It might be less. There might be 3 or 4 of them. Because they beat each other up in conference play. This happens all the time. Every year, whether it's this conference, the ACC, the Big 12, doesn't matter. If they beat each other up all year, there's no guarantee that they're going to have that success is going to transpire to the tournament because they might be worn out. So I guarantee you that come Monday, you won't see out of that 11 that made it, 10, 11 that made it, you probably won't even see 5 of them left. So we'll see how it shakes out, but that's what happens sometimes in these power conferences.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the bracket here. I want to go through kind of all the games in the first round, kind of talk about them. Don't have to spend too much time, and then we got some upsets we can go into a little bit more detail with. So let me put my screen on here because the power of the internet, we can do that.
Hell yeah. Go internet.
Go internet, yep.
I'm going to put us right in the middle of the screen, too, which is cool. There we go.
Look at that.
Bang. Look at that.
Professional podcast.
There we go.
We're hovering. All right, we'll start off, man. We're in the East here. Number 1, Duke, 16, Siena. Pretty easy. The spread on this game is astronomical, probably. We can't bet it.
We can't bet it.
New York State
Can't see it.
I would definitely take Siena with the points.
Yep.
Anybody getting into the 30s deserves a chance to cover.
Yep.
But this is a wash. Duke, top 4 team all year. Well, what did they end the power rankings in? Were they 1 or 2?
I think Duke was...
Was it
1.
Michigan?
It might have been Michigan, but
Actually, or was Arizona 1?
I think because Arizona won their conference tournament, they were 1.
Yeah.
So, but Duke, this will be an easy game for Duke. Fun little fact: Jerry McNamara, who used to play for Syracuse, coaches Siena. Not exactly your first ideal NCAA tournament game to get Duke, but I mean it's 1 versus 16, so pretty self-explanatory. Duke should roll.
But he made the tournament. Like
Exactly.
That's impressive to do. Regardless, just make the tournament.
Yep.
You said 365.
Yep.
D1 schools.
Yep.
And only 64 get in. You're a top 64 school basically at this point.
Yep.
You made it. You did your job.
You're not in a play-in
and
game, and you're actually in an actual game.
And that's Canisius' conference.
Yeah.
So again, not just like Miami of Ohio, not going to get teams to play against. So to win their tournament and make it in, good for Jerry McNamara.
They did have to play NU twice, and NU was hot dog shit.
That's
year,
right.
So
complete garbage.
Free
I forget about NU.
Forget about them because there's nothing to remember. Don't know the last time those guys were even halfway decent.
Free wins from NU, and I think Riders also in that conference. It was also like a 3-win team.
Riding their way to another losing season, I can tell you that.
Ohio, this is a good game. This is actually game 1 for tomorrow too, time wise. Ohio State, TCU. I like Texas Christian in this one, boys. I'm going with a slight upset over Ohio State. People around Ohio State. Bruce Thornton. I have a lisp when I say his name. He is him. However, give me the Horned Frogs. They have the better resume. They beat Florida when Florida was like, yeah, they weren't the best at looking during the year, but they got good wins on their resume.
Respectfully disagree.
Okay.
I got Ohio State for a couple reasons. Mostly TCU. This is truly an 8-9 scenario because out of all the matchups, this is definitely a 50-50, but I like Bruce Thornton and John Mobley to get the job done tomorrow because I think they got better guard play. And I'm going to be honest, in March, guard play, especially in these kinds of games, usually prevails. And who turns the ball over less? They were well tested this year. They played Michigan 3 times. Okay, so they're not going to, they played in a great conference just like TCU did. Now, again, they did beat Florida. But tomorrow in a winner-take-all 40-minute game, I trust the team with the better guard play. While they have David Punch and some good big guys, I'm just going to give the slight edge to Ohio State tomorrow. And Bruce Thornton's first ever tournament game tomorrow, by the way. So I hope he wins for that. But I like Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm also going Ohio State. I'm not going to go into depth like you guys because I just, I'm just
You're going off of brand recognition, I feel like, on that
I know
one.
the TCU Horned Frogs.
Yeah.
Come on,
but Ohio State's got the bigger brand name as well.
Of course, yeah. Ohio State.
I just think Ohio State's playing a little bit better right now.
I think
TCU,
Ohio State has had better competition this year than TCU.
I'm going TCU. They're probably
That's not a bad point because, again, what I said, they've already played Michigan 3 times, so they're not going to like show up.
Is it
tomorrow.
Michigan a 1 seed?
Yep.
Yeah. So
they both played. Listen, they both had very tough conferences, but again, just because they beat Florida, I'm telling you, tomorrow the plays at the end of that game, free throw shooting in this tournament,
it's going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong.
It's absolutely.
I think Ohio is going to edge it out. I don't think they're going to blow them out, but I think they're going to edge it out. And I think because they played better teams throughout the year than TCU has this year.
Yep.
That was my reasoning for that pick.
TCU having to play Iowa State, Texas Tech, Kansas, Houston, Arizona multiple times.
A bunch of bums, you know?
yeah. Well, we already know how you feel about Arizona, so they are bums. They are bums. All right, St. John's, number 5 seed at Northern Iowa here. Northern Iowa, dude. Out of was that Missouri Valley, I think? Yeah. Missouri Valley Conference. They play with Drake and Belmont and Bradley. Actually, some decent competition in that conference. Winning their conference tourney, I actually had UCI winning that.
Illinois, Chicago, yep.
Yeah, I battled Chris. He took as a future, and Chris took UNI. UNI in this, and I think people are sleeping on them because they don't know enough about the school. I have St. John's advancing, but if you want to talk spreads, I could see Northern Iowa probably covering something like this.
Yeah, every year the team from the Missouri Valley, first of all, 5-12s, 6-11s, never a given on the favorite. But St. John's is very, very talented this year, like last year, but they also lost last year in the second round, and you don't want to overlook Northern Iowa because I was watching them last week. They are one of the better defensive mid-major teams to be in the field. And if they get into like a grinded out game with St. John's, I believe the game's on Friday, they might be able to pull the upset. I just think at the end of the day, Rick Pitino and Zubi Ejiofor, who's, if you don't know his name, remember it if they're around for a while in this tournament because he's one of the better centers playing in college basketball right now that maybe no one's talked about enough because the Big East wasn't as great this year. But Northern Iowa does have really good guard play. So we'll see how it goes back and forth. But I feel like they should have St. John's. I think it's going to be a close game, but they should have the edge to advance. And Rick Pitino, obviously, coaching is always nice to have. So.
Yeah, and I'm going with Northern Iowa on this one just because there's always those upsets. A 12 always beats a 5.
Yep.
So I'm just going Northern Iowa on this one basically because St. John's bowed out early last year.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
It's one of those. It's kind of. I go back to like, well, what are they going to do this year? It's like, you know, I'm going to take Northern Iowa just for the upset.
They also got screwed with their seeding, St. John's.
Yes.
Because they not only beat UConn twice, but they won the Big East regular season and the tournament. But somehow they end up as a 5 and UConn's a 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
seeding got fucked on that. They should be a 2 seed. And
Yeah.
so they're kind of a 2 and
At least
5
a
clothing
4.
here.
Definitely not
At least
5.
a 4 or 3. But here's my thing is like, yes, they got bounced last year. It's Rick Pitino, dude. It's hard to fade good coaches in March.
That's right.
There's certain people where you
right.
can't fade because it's them. They get their players ready. They can't lose these games, and they can't lose back-to-back season. I think the only chance Northern Iowa has is if they keep this a low-scoring game, which has been proven. St. John's had a lot of low-scoring games. They had that one game, was that UConn, where they scored no, it wasn't UConn. They beat them twice.
That's the problem.
What was the game they scored 10 points in the fucking second half or whatever?
They scored 40 points in that.
The total game.
Yeah, to UConn. That's the problem with St. John's. It's like Northern Iowa can slow the game down to the point where it might come down to a grind it out. Who's going to get the last couple possessions? Who's going to get the loose balls and the rebounds and really will their way to winning this game? But it's definitely not an ideal matchup for St. John's. I will say I have them winning, but
you're making me feel better about my pick.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. Yeah, I'm picking St. John's, but it's definitely not ideal for a 5-12. I mean, 5-12, there's always upsets, but it's a tough first game.
I agree that is going to be a good one. Let's go into Kansas at Cal Baptist. 4 taking on the 13 here. I'm taking Kansas. They have probably the second best player in college basketball and Darren Peterson on that team. But Cal Baptist, Dominique Daniels, nobody knows this guy's name. Look him up. He's averaging over 20 points a game. He's probably going to be a guy that goes under the radar and will be a high NBA pick as well. But nobody's talking about him. Why? Because he's on California Baptist University.
What is Cal Baptist? Yep.
However, spread-wise, this is going to be one of those games that you could probably take the 13 with the points. I got Kansas in this one. I could see an upset, but I just got to go with Kansas. Bill Self, coaching, best player, second best player in the nation behind AJ DeBanta and Darren Peterson. They have a bunch of good role players. The level of competition this year, I just don't see them folding in round 1. Bad draw, you could say, because Cal Baptist can give you some trouble, and I don't think it'll be a complete wash. Give me the Jayhawks.
I'd have to agree. I'll take Kansas in this one. 13-4 is kind of like 5-12. You never know what you're going to get. But Kansas can beat anybody. The problem is they can also lose to anybody.
Sure.
You don't know what Kansas team you're going to get with what I've watched this year. Sometimes they look like the best team in the country. Sometimes they don't even look like a top 10 team, not even worthy of a top 4 seed. And plus, Darren Peterson, how much does this guy really want to be out there? I mean,
now's the time to play. So he got a lot of slack for sitting out a bunch of games this year. Was it injury related? Was it not injury related? He says it was. Just kind of the narrative of him not really playing for the team, and it's just him. I think he comes to play, dude. If now's the time to fucking
now's the time.
Now's the time. If you were sitting out all these games in the regular season
for
in
this
preparation
moment?
for this,
Yep.
you got to play and you got to turn up. I can't fade that at this point.
Well, Cashew Chris has Kansas going to the Elite Eight. And I think in one of his brackets he has them in the Final Four. So it is a wild take.
It's not crazy, but it is a wild take.
Now the guard's name for Cal Baptist is Dominique Daniels. Now that's the kind of guy though in March that's called a bracket buster because he scores like 40 in one game and takes you out. And there's multiple guys like that in this tournament. So don't know if they'll have enough. It's hard to have enough for 40 minutes to beat a team as talented as Kansas, but it actually might be one of the more surprising great games in the first round. But I'm going to go with Kansas because they, like you said, Bill Self should have enough to advance in this game.
I'm going Kansas.
Kansas it is.
I'm just here to drink beer and listen to you guys because I don't know enough about college basketball.
Well, especially when we start talking about Cal Baptist. Nobody knows about Cal
Baptist.
Kansas is. I'm picking Kansas. They're one of those blue blood teams that's like I feel like they're around.
Yep.
Later in the tournament every fucking year.
Yep.
They haven't won it in a long time, but they're around. They're in it. They've always got the good players. They got great coaching.
Yep. But that's what I'm saying.
Dominique Daniels, 23.2, fifth in the nation in points per game. And you don't know about this. Yep, you don't know about. And he's shooting 43.
You don't know what this guy is exactly. That's what I'm saying, though. You get guys like this in the tournament every year that pop off. And then that's how upsets happen. But we'll see.
The Lancers. The California Baptist Lancers. All right, let's move on here to a game we're going to be seeing live in person, Greggy T. Louisville, South Florida, the Bulls, not the UB Bulls, the South Florida Bulls. Here's one of the biggest lock of an upsets I can think of. Give me the Bulls upsetting Louisville.
This spread started at 6.5 a couple days ago. Is down to 4.5. People are hopping on South Florida. I do believe, from what I heard today from one of my buddies, that the coach of South Florida is from Olean. He's a Buffalo guy. So he's coming here to Buffalo. They want to show out.
Buffalo-ish.
Yep, Buffalo-ish. But he used to be an assistant under Nate Oates at Alabama. Little tidbit. So they're coming here tomorrow in what is like 10-7, 11-6, especially this year. Every year. There's multiple, usually 11-6 upsets. South Florida playing in a conference that not many people probably paid attention to, but they like to get up and down one of the highest totals of the first weekend at 164.5. Both these teams love to shoot the three and get up and down in transition. So whoever can probably do that better and turn it over less probably will have the overall edge at the end of the game. But I'm also going to take South Florida in the upset. Lock in tomorrow at 1:30. We'll be there for the game, and I'm just hoping that these two teams just go up and down, because we'll be taking the over in this game. But Louisville, though, it's hard because they can shoot it so well that they could easily win this game by 5 to 10 points. Everyone's just picking South Florida because, we want to see the upset. But let's not forget, Louisville was a great team in their own right, but they also had a lot of moments where they weren't so great, and they don't have Michael Brown tomorrow. And no Michael Brown, who's going to go to the NBA and be a first-round pick. Oh, that's tough. Because
even with Michael Brown, I still got USF still winning this one. I
don't know.
How confident I am with this team, dude. They're one of the most potent offenses. Granted, they're playing in the American Conference, but this year the American, South Florida, Wichita State, Tulsa, UAB, the top 4 teams in that conference were actually very good this year.
That's true.
And this is a year with Memphis, who's usually the one that's talked about with Coach Penny Hardaway. Has fucking done terrible. Probably his worst season. He might not even be coach next year.
Yeah, I know.
A team that has the most resources, the most funding, the most notoriety wasn't even in the top 6 of that conference. So the new top of this conference, South Florida, they were smoking everybody this year.
They were. Yep.
I don't know, man. I think they're just a cut above. You can put them up there, and I really do think that there's a lot of these 5, 6, 7 teams that would probably fall to a South Florida.
Yeah, and that's the thing is every year, like I said, there's always 11 over 6, 10 over 7, but it's usually power conference team pitted against each other. I wouldn't call the American a power conference by any means compared to the Big 12 and the SEC, but no, I expect an upset tomorrow at 1:30. That's why the spread has gone down in favor of South Florida. But again, no Michael Brown makes it really tough because me personally, if they had him, I would be picking Louisville, but no Michael Brown. It's tough. I'm going to go with them, the Bulls.
Who'd you have advancing?
Oh, I got Louisville going. Advancing. See, I don't know this stuff like you guys do. I'm just
Jeffy.
like
It's okay, 'cause it's
Louisville.
good to be different.
That's
though.
okay.
Yeah,
It is.
It's good to be different.
It is.
You want to have a different pick.
That's how-
If Louisville does win, you're the only one with the W.
That's
in
right.
the column.
And this is how
I'm
Vegas.
going to look like a goddamn genius
That's
tomorrow
right.
when Louisville wins.
That's right. I'll be texting you.
Smart guys would be like,
What happened?
South Florida. What happened
That's
to
why I'm
South
taking
Florida?
the points with the
That's-
Yeah, shut up.
This
Shut up.
is-
I'm texting both you motherfuckers.
That's right.
I'll be like, let's up, go Louisville.
This guy's going to send us a Cardinal at 4 o'clock, dude.
You're goddamn right.
A game that I don't think is going to get upset. Still going to be a good game. We're going to watch it live again. The second game in the first session. Michigan State, North Dakota State. Tom Izzo. Just plain and simple, you can't fade Izzo in March.
That's right.
It's a foolproof plan at this point. He's not getting bumped in the first round. They're a 3 seed for a reason. Did they look like shit at some times during this regular season?
That they did.
Yes, but when they look like shit, they've played very, very like the top schools. This is somebody that I think they can handle with ease. North Dakota State out of the Summit League, playing the likes of St. Thomas and Omaha. Denver was a little bit of a story this year. Not the greatest competition, but they actually had a pretty competitive league. St. Thomas is actually in the NIT, I think, as well this year.
They are, yep.
Give me Michigan State and to roll these guys.
I like Michigan State to win the game. Don't really think with the way they play, their style of play, because it's slower paced and not a great offensive team. I think North Dakota State could cover this 16.5 point spread tomorrow. I feel like a 15-point Michigan State victory is well within range. And again, I think every year the team from the Summit plays pretty well in their tournament game. And a lot of the times they're a 12 seed, 12 or 13. But this year we're getting a 14. North Dakota State, I think the Bison definitely keep it close for a while. But I got Michigan State advancing because Tom Izzo on March, like you said.
Same.
Tom Izzo on March.
Ditto.
Upset alert possible here. UCF and UCLA. This one was tough for me. Actually, it's closer. UCLA dealing with some injuries here. Their top 2 guys got hurt in the conference, in the conference tourney, but should be back for the NCAA tournament. It was Bilodeau and Dent, I think.
Yep, that's right.
This one was tough for me. I'm going UCF on this one. Give me another upset. They've looked good at times. They've looked bad at times. But I don't think UCLA is really that much of a team to be afraid of. And especially with the injuries, I don't know, man. I think if there's a team that can pull it off, I think UCF. Give me what's his name? John Bull, dude. Their center.
Oh, I can't even pronounce the dude's name. It's a little Bull. I mean, it's not Bull, but listen, I respect the take. But this is, I'll tell you what. We're only in one bracket, but this is going to be lock battles all day tomorrow because UCLA's not losing this game to UCF. It's just not happening. I've watched this UCF team play, and I won't say they're dog crap because they did make the tournament, but this team does not get up and down. They're not consistent on offense. Thymus Folks, or whatever his first name is, he's a very good point guard. They can have their moments. They have spurt ability, but UCLA, if Donovan Dent and Tyler Bilodeau play in this game with Eric Daly, no, UCLA will be way too much in this game. At the end of the day, it'll be close for a half, but Mick Cronin and the boys, a little bit of a psycho as a coach, which will be perfect when they advance and play Dan Hurley because a couple psychos yelling at each other the whole game. But no, we like UCLA to advance here because just not impressed with what I've seen from UCF. Now, they were in a tough conference, but don't think they get it done. Donovan Dent, one of the best guards in this tournament by far. And if they need a bucket late, I'll give it to him, and he'll get it done. But the Bruins are going to win this game.
Who do you like in this?
UCLA. That's it. That's all I got.
it.
I don't know anything about UCF. I don't know anything about UCLA.
You don't need to know anything about UCF because they ain't going to do anything tomorrow.
See?
I'm telling you right now, UCLA.
There we go. See, Greg's all the knowledge I need right now.
Yes, right.
I think Greg's going to be the recurring guest every year for when we get into March Madness. Because I can't have this same conversation that you two guys are having. I'm just here to drink a couple beers and hang out.
And that's a good time because there's going to be a lot of beers this weekend. Let me tell you, it's the best time of the year. Probably better than Christmas. I'll tell you right now.
We got 48 hours of nonstop college hoops on the next couple days here.
And that's awesome. Everything he just said is awesome. I mean, are you kidding me?
Fun fact, too. This is Wednesday, the day before all these the tournament starts, is the number one day for men to have vasectomies because they have to be laid up for the next 2 days.
That's right. You got to be
minimum.
Yeah, you got to be ready.
It is a proven stat that this is the number one day for men to have vasectomies.
Let your girlfriends and wives know what the next 2 days are. Because I tell you what, it's time for the boys and some beers of college basketball. Okay, we're locking in.
I mean, we can just do that every day.
We also could do that every day.
You know?
That's right. That's right. Yep. That's also fun.
Closing out the East bracket here, got the number 2 UConn Huskies at the Furman Paladins. Furman coming out of the SoCon. They were actually the 5th best team in their conference, but they did win the conference tourney, and that's why they're in the position they're in.
Yep.
Go Paladins. The Bowser brothers are real.
The Bowser brothers. Are you kidding me?
What a great name. The
It's
2
awesome.
brothers on the team. The last name is Bowser.
That's fucking fantastic.
That is awesome.
That is a phenomenal last
The
name.
Bowser brothers. Dude.
That's one of those. It's like if they have a sister with the last
That's
name
right.
Bowser, if she gets married, the husband takes the last name because that's a fucking great.
I
last
tell you
name.
what, the Furman Paladins. I tell you, we got the Bowser brothers. This right here. I don't care what anybody says. This game's going to be closer than you think. I think they're the 5th or 6th tallest team in the country. Furman is. I'm telling you what, Danny Hurley's going to be screaming this whole game because the Paladins are going to keep this close. I do have UConn advancing, but we did take Furman in our bracket, hoping that the Paladins pull a stunner with the Bowser brothers.
Yeah, man, I like Furman a lot. I don't think they'll get the upset. Probably take him with the points, as I will with a lot of these first rounds when the points are going to be juicy.
Yep.
Give me UConn to advance.
Yep, give me UConn to advance, but the Bowser brothers, hopefully they make an impact because that name is awesome.
UConn is my college basketball team because, fun fact, I was in Florida in 1999 when they won the NCAA tournament, and I was on the plane home back to the connecting flight with the UConn Huskies. I was like, I had Siberian Huskies growing up as a child.
Nice.
So it's like I have Huskies. The UConn Huskies basketball team is on my plane to my connecting flight. Absolutely fantastic. I was like,
Get this guy a Huskies
I'm a Husky.
jersey.
I'm a
Yeah.
Husky.
Get this guy a Huskies
You got to get you a Huskies.
I think I need a Huskies jersey. You're
Get
right.
you a solo ball jersey.
Get you a
dude.
solo ball
Hell yeah,
jersey.
let's
That's
go.
right.
Let's
That's
go.
right.
So Huskies all the way. I think I have Huskies advancing very far.
Okay, cool. All right, I like it. I respect it.
Let's move down to the South here. I don't. Who is Florida playing?
The winner of the game that's happening right now between Prairie View and Lehigh. Doesn't really matter.
Score on that?
Yeah, let's get a score check on that game. Doesn't really matter who they're playing. Florida will absolutely roll in the first game. They're pissed off. They're just coming off an L in the SEC tournament. So yeah, Todd Golden and the boys will roll the first one.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida too. I'll be right back.
I cannot find scores. Here we go. Got it. Lehigh is up 29-27 at the half. Fun fact, I think a lot of people are on Lehigh. I actually took Prairie View on this
We also
one.
took Prairie View.
Okay,
Yep.
Prairie View. Yeah, this will be a Florida roll all day.
Yep.
No competition. This is even a game I probably would. I don't know if I'll lay the points or not because they'll be getting like 30 probably as well.
I mean, I think Florida's going to win the first game by 40.
But that's what I think. Florida's like one of those teams that don't like let off the gas with their competition. So I could see them just stepping on throats, winning this one by 50 even. Give me Florida advancing.
Yep.
Next game, Clemson at Iowa. Little 8-9 action.
Another
here.
good one.
Good game. I'm going to take Iowa. Give me the Hawkeyes. Bennett Sturts, a.k.a. Drake 2.0, this team is, with Coach McCullough.
Yep.
I like the way that they play. They're slow, methodical. They don't make mistakes. They have a star point guard who will be NBA ready. Not really much to say other than that. Clemson, I think, kind of a underachieved year this year.
Don't know what people were expecting from them, but
but
I'm going to tell you right now that
brand recognition. I think people think that Clemson, maybe they think because of football that they're going to be a good basketball team as well.
Yep.
Give me the Hawkeyes, dude.
I'm with you 100%. I agree. Give me the Hawkeyes. Bennett Sturts, one of the best players learn the name because he's one of the best players in the country and has been all year in one of the best conferences in the country in the Big Ten. I see them winning this game in a low-scoring dogfight. It's going to go back and forth. Clemson will probably have their moments, but again, the best player on the floor sometimes, usually, is the difference, and that's what it should be with this one with Bennett Sturts. So, yeah, give me the Hawkeyes.
Who do you like?
I'm taking Clemson in this one.
Okay.
Basically, just because Clemson is more of a basketball team than Iowa has been over recent years, has it not? Or am I mistaken?
I don't know what this guy's talking about. He hasn't seen Bennett Sturts play yet.
He hasn't seen Bennett
No, I
Sturts
haven't.
play.
I don't watch college basketball like you guys. I've said
Brand
this. This is why I'm just here to drink beers.
Brand recognition.
I refilled all of us.
I'm starting to think that Jeff is here to purposely pick the opposite team than me and Mikey D. I don't know what's going on. Okay, someone educate this man, okay? But you know what? It's an 8-9 matchup.
Maybe
so
if I got invited to some more college basketball games, maybe if I got invited to watch some college basketball games.
Well, we're watching UB, and there's nothing really exciting about that.
Fair.
I wish I was watching Hawkeye basketball.
Yeah, me too.
You're not wrong. And actually, it's funny. I got friends that live in Iowa that are huge Hawkeye fans. College.
Well, your friends are going to be happy when they beat Clemson.
Okay,
I'll tell you that right now.
And then I'm going to rub it in their face and your guys' face when Clemson wins tomorrow.
All right.
So,
well, good.
There we go.
Moving on. This is a game I think a lot of people might have upsets on. Not me. Vanderbilt, number 5 at 12 McNeese. McNeese has one of those recognizable names from last year when they were upsetting everybody. They were smashing teams. Give me Vandy, dude. The Commodores over McNeese. McNeese coming out of the Southland Conference. Pretty decent competition this year with Stephen F. Austin. They were back and forth. I think they split during the regular season. Playing UTRGV, Rio Grande, and beating them in the conference. Yep, beating them, the Vaqueros, in the conference tourney. They're a good team. They got size. They got a lot of players that probably could go on some of these blue blood teams, but they also lost a lot of them to these blue bloods this past year, including their coach, Will Wade, who ended up going to NC State. McNeese is a totally different team this year. They're still good. They can still bang with these guys, but give me Vandy.
It ain't banging with these guys enough because I'm telling you right now, out of all the 5-12s, this one right here is guaranteed where the 5 seed wins. Vanderbilt's not losing this game. It's not happening. McNeese was a nice season, but you got a team with Duke Miles, and it's his last name's Tanner. It might be Tyler Tanner, but I know they have Tyler Nickel. And let me tell you, that guy don't miss from 3. So they got not only good big guys, they got really good guard play. Should absolutely overwhelm McNeese. I think the spread's 11.5. I do think Vanderbilt wins this game by at least 15 points.
Yeah.
And this same scenario happened a couple years ago. McNeese did advance last year against Clemson, but the previous year, they were a trendy upset pick against my boys from Gonzaga in the 5-12 game. And let me tell you, they got absolutely embarrassed that night by Gonzaga from the jump. And I feel like that could happen here with Vandy. Like they won't be able to keep up with Vandy for 40 minutes. And it was a good run through the Southland, but y'all gonna take a whooping in this game. It's definitely gonna be Vandy.
I think so as well.
So
Jeff, what do you got going? Moving on.
We're all going to agree here that Vandy is moving on.
Okay, there it is. We got one. We got one.
I know ball, baby, and this is
Jeff
why Vandy's going to win.
What you know about Duke Miles? We're 3 for 3. We all agree. We love it.
We love it. We love it. Triple lock on the Commodores.
Watch them lose tomorrow.
Or
whatever.
I got them winning.
I got them winning. No, please don't do that. Please
don't wish that. 4 seed Nebraska at the 13 Troy here. I don't know why I keep saying at because they're not at anywhere. It's
from the Sun Belt. Yeah, what are you doing?
Out of the Sun Belt, Troy leading that conference, going 12-6 in the Sun Belt. Every other fucking team I'm looking at apparently won 11-7, which is kind of weird. But look at Troy. I think this is another school. Last year, upset type of school. They're a fast-paced school. They can put up scoring in bunches. But Nebraska, man, I don't know. This is a tough one. Nebraska was one of the hottest schools to start. Would they win like 21 straight?
They were like, yeah, they were like
going back to last year's games.
They were at one point. They were ranked this year in the top 5.
Yes,
they were like 20-3, and they were playing Michigan and everybody else in that conference. Super tough. Fred Hoiberg, great head coach. His son plays. He's great. He's a little baller. They got Buchtengel, one of the best names in the country.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and they got Peyton Sanford. Nebraska, very slow and methodical, but also can score buckets in a hurry. Now, while Troy is physical and they do get tough, up front. Got a lot of big guys who can play. It might be a trending upset pick because Troy is getting double digits, which they might cover the spread, but I'm going to take Nebraska to get their first ever tournament victory against Troy.
Started off 20-0 this season.
Yep.
Went 6-6 to finish out the season. So slowed down a little bit.
So not coming into this tournament hot, which
Not coming in hot, but I think there's still enough talent on that team where they can get past Troy in this round.
Yep.
Could it be an upset? Yes. Not one of my favorites to be on there, though.
Yep.
What do you got moving on, Jeff?
Nebraska.
Hell yeah.
Because
Nice,
I don't
that's-
know anything about Troy.
Yeah. Troy Trojans.
The Trojans. Trojan. Man. All right.
Easy.
For the sake of this podcast, let's keep it. Come on, now we got fans
No, we
here.
don't. We don't do
We
that.
don't do that. An upset I do like, though. North Carolina, the 6 against VCU, the 11. Give me VCU, the Rams. Ram on Ram action here, even though there's technically not the Rams, but a Tar Heel, I guess, is a Ram. I don't know.
The logo's a ram.
It's a Ram.
Yeah, the
It's
Rams-
still a fucking
they're very
Ram.
It's like
similar,
the
yep.
Buffalo Sabres have a saber-toothed tiger as their logo.
Yeah.
As their mascot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ram on Ram action here. Give me VCU. They always have the guys that can compete at this level. They play in the A10. They played some good competition this year. They had to play.
A10 was very good this year, actually.
Robbie was Avila or whatever.
Avila plays for St. Louis. Yep.
They had to play him twice a year, and he's NBA ready. Good competition. George Mason, George Washington, Dayton Flyers. They had some good teams out of the A10.
Dayton.
And honestly, North Carolina losing what's his fit? Yeah, Dayton. They're in the NIT actually, I think, right now.
They are.
North Carolina losing Caleb Wilson is
That
a
hurts.
big loss, and
Yep.
honestly could be the reason why I'm switching this. Maybe I would have leaned VCU still, but without your best player, and he hasn't been there in a few games, the North Carolina Tar Heels have not looked the same. Give me the Rams to beat the Tar Heels.
Every single 11 seed could win in the first round. And VCU, I have in my bracket going to the Sweet 16. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what.
Money.
Spicy.
The Rams, 16-1. Little tidbit for you, 16-1 in their last 17 games.
I like it.
Rams are rolling. Okay, and every year VCU gets in the tournament, they're always a tough out. They're a tough defensive team. They're not going to make silly mistakes. If this was with Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar, this would be a different discussion. I definitely think North Carolina would advance. Caleb Wilson, top 5 pick, by far one of the best players in the country. But when you lose that against a Rams team that's been this hot for the last couple months, I'm going to go with VCU in a trendy upset pick. That's why the spread's only 2.5. But yeah, give me the Rams. North Carolina's had a good year, but no Caleb Wilson, and I don't see it without him. So yeah, give me VCU.
And here's why I'm taking VCU. They have more wins and less losses. You heard it here first.
There it is.
It's not necessarily always a bad thing.
There
to
it
look
is.
at.
More
Someone's
wins,
on.
Straight to the point.
The
That
more
is-
wins is why I'm like, okay, they played more games than Carolina. I think
Yep.
they're more ready for the tournament at this point.
Yep.
Carolina has been on the downward trend the last few years too.
Yep, since they.
Your jersey's driving me fucking. My OCD is driving.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you're all good. Don't dry your jersey.
Okay, cool. Just focus.
Also,
Sorry.
real quick, I'm just looking at their non-con schedule.
I'm the same way, so I understand.
I'm looking at VCU's non-con schedule, and listen to some of the competition they played in non-con. Utah State, the Aggies, they only lost by 3. NC State, they only lost by 6. USF, who we just talked about, they actually beat by 7. I can't count for a second. Sorry, 8. They beat by 8. Vanderbilt, they lost by 15. Virginia Tech, they beat by 14.
Lost to New Mexico by a
And
bucket.
lost by New
this
Mexico by 3
this
points.
team's battle
So there's a
tested.
lot of good schools in here that they were either they're winning or they're in close games with.
Exactly. I know ball.
That
man.
are they're on a different scale. Yeah,
Guy knows
dude,
ball.
I mean,
Come on.
this is definitely one of those ones that
Like, I hate to say this because they're the higher seed. I would be surprised if North Carolina wins this game.
How's your brother feel about that?
He does not-
being a Tar Heel fan.
My brother, being a Tar Heel fan, does not like their chances.
Is he a
against
realist
VCU.
though? He's a realist.
He is a
knows-
realist. He
Okay,
thinks
good.
that VCU is going to win the game, so
He's
he
not a
is.
delusional Cowboys fan that thinks they're going to. This is our year.
I work with delusional Cowboy fans. Come on, it's just every
think we
year
all
they
do.
think they think a playoff. Stop! It's ridiculous. You're the Cowboys. It's absurd.
Fair.
one of my favorite games that will be on the television. Wait, are we gonna miss this game? I don't know if
this game is not tomorrow.
Okay, it's a Friday game?
Yep.
Thank God.
Yep.
Illinois, number 3, at Penn, 14. I can't read because my eyes are fucking going squirrely. And no, I didn't say Penn State. I said Penn. The Ivy League school, Pennsylvania, representing the Ivy League, which has notoriously been Yale probably the last 4 fucking years, I want to say. It's always Yale, or Cornell has been in there, or Princeton has been in there.
Yep.
This year, the Quakers with Fran McCaffrey.
Fran McCaffrey, former Iowa coach.
Oh, you're so right.
Didn't
You're so
realize
right.
that
Yep.
until Sunday when they were playing. And I'll tell you what, a game like this, that matters. He knows what the Big Ten is about. He's been there.
He's been there. He's been in these big situations. It's tough. Like, you got a good coach, you got a chance here. Now, Illinois on the sheet here. Yes, the dudes they got. All the Team Europe is what I like to call them.
Basically.
Name them.
You can't, because they're all European and I can't pronounce them. There's no vowels.
Okay, fair.
But
Like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yep.
It's the combo.
sure,
Yeah,
they're
I-
all from Croatia or Croatia or Rwanda. I don't know, dude. They're all on there, dude. These guys, they got the little squiggly things over their name. Look at, they're dudes on that team.
You
They're all
can't pronounce their names, but they can play.
the E27 brothers, dude.
Yep.
Both 7 foot tall. Like, they got some dudes on this team.
It's not just a Visic, though. They got probably one of the most underrated players in the tournament in Keaton Wagler. This guy's a walking bucket. I mean, come on. The guy pulls up from half court. You got to guard this guy the whole game.
Boswell, they got some guys on that team.
They got some dudes.
They got some dudes. Their guard play is really good. Their bigs are very good. They have a huge team. They have a huge height advantage. And I don't know what Penn's roster looks like, but I can bet you right now they don't got 2 7'2" guys on their team.
They got TJ Power is who they got, who just scored 44 in the championship game. Let me tell you something. That guy's an absolute.
Thank God Greg's here, because he pulled that one out of his ass.
Bucket getter, man. I mean, this guy can absolutely fill it up. But listen, doesn't matter how much you can fill it up. You're not going to fill it up by beating Illinois. You're going to take an L. You know, go home, go back to your Ivy League school. It's okay, but do sprinkle Penn plus 24. Okay, it's probably a lock.
We did bet the Penn plus 24, but again, I'll agree with your sentiment. Illinois easy win.
Yeah, we're gonna triple this. We're gonna go Illinois, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Until you just said it was Penn the Ivy League, I thought it was fucking Penn State the whole time. I was like, oh shit, Penn State, and you're like, no, it's the Ivy League. I'm like, I forgot about them because I keep thinking of Yale and
Princeton, Cornell.
Cornell.
Yep.
I keep thinking about those teams. I'm like, I didn't even think about Penn because they're not usually in the tournament like this.
Yep.
If anything, I would have thought they would have been a playing team.
Yeah. They
fair.
won the Ivy League tournament.
Yeah, so
which
they don't,
is the most jacked up tournament of all of the conference tournaments, the Ivy League. There's only 8 fucking teams, and
fair,
only half of the league makes it.
That's
so
also
you
true.
only have a tournament with 4 teams. It's 2 days long. Why not just invite everybody at that point?
That's right.
You only have 8 teams. You have the shortest. You have the smallest conference.
because they're smart. That's why they're in the Ivy League.
They're studying.
And honestly, you know,
I don't like it. I think all the teams in the Ivy League should be playing in the Ivy League
I agree.
tournament.
I agree.
That makes Columbia,
more sense.
Brown,
It
Dartmouth.
makes more-
Put them all in there.
Dartmouth's an Ivy League school? I did not know that.
Yep.
Put them all in there, man.
Learn something new every day.
You
Put them
sure
all
do.
in
Yep.
there.
Learning a lot with Greg here.
Yep.
Here's one that I know I'm disagreeing with Greg on, and I even had some second thoughts on this because I think I'm the only fucking person I've seen take this team. St. Mary's at Texas A&M. Give me Bucky Ball. Give me Bucky Ball in Texas A&M to upset the St. Mary Gales. Greg, tell me why I'm wrong about the Gales. You've watched more Gales basketball than I have.
Yeah,
Tell him why we both think he's wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna step in.
Are you on the Gales as well?
St. Mary's?
St. Mary's?
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Jeff don't need to explain because I'm gonna do it for him. Okay, let me tell you something, man.
He's smart.
Bucky Ball. Listen, it was a good season. You were in the SEC, and to most people that are looking at the bracket, they're like, "Oh, St. Mary's team from the WCC playing a big bad team from the SEC. They're probably underseeded Texas A&M." No, they're right where they need to be. The worst thing about playing St. Mary's is they are going to take you out of what you like to do, and they're going to do that for 40 minutes. So everybody in this game assumes that Texas A&M will be able to play Bucky Ball and turn St. Mary's over the whole game, and they're just going to be able to run up and down. Hold it right there. That's not going to happen. St. Mary's going to play at their pace, one of the slowest in the NCAA, but also one of the best defensive teams in the NCAA. And Defense wins championships, and it definitely wins games like this in a one-game scenario. Buckyball had a nice season, but representing the WCC, and thank God Gonzaga isn't in their bracket, nor playing them, nor anywhere near them in this tournament. But I know what they're like for watching them all those years. St. Mary's is going to get the dub in this game over Texas A&M. Book it.
It's definitely one of those games where I could go either way on, and I don't mind the St. Mary's pick. I was more so doing it because I wanted the upset points.
Yep.
And I'll take the 10 over the 7. But if you look at their last, I don't know, 8 games or so, they weren't. A&M was beating up on the bad schools in the SEC. They lost to Alabama, Florida, Missouri, Vandy. Then they beat Ole Miss. Then they beat Oklahoma.
It's just a
Then they lost to Arkansas, and they lost to Texas.
Yep.
Then they beat Kentucky, who has been very inconsistent, and LSU, who's at the bottom. And then they lost to Oklahoma in the fucking tournament anyway. So, like, they closed out that with no quality wins and only quality losses.
It's just a contrast of styles. So basically, whoever can impose their style better will end up winning this game. But I just feel like St. Mary's will be able to do that, and that's why I'm picking them.
Yep.
So.
Same.
One of my favorite teams, although I don't think they're going to make any noise. And I don't even know if I want to take them with the points. Houston against the Idaho Vandals out of the Big Sky Conference. Give me the Cougs. Houston's going to roll this team, and it's not even going to be close. I think this is another 20-something point spread.
It is.
23-24, I think, last time I looked. Give me the Cougs. Coaching, Calvin Sampson. They're getting back probably to the Final Four, if I remember what my sheet looks like. Maybe I don't remember what my sheet looks like. But anyways, they're going to be at least Elite Eight, if not Final Four material. I don't see them hiccuping this game against the Vandals, who had a very good non-con, a good conference tourney. They beat up on the Montana Grizz, who player name of the year on Money Williams.
Money Williams. What you know about Money Williams?
Montana Grizz, great name. I like the Vandals. They made me a lot of money. I had a future on them in the Big Sky, which cashed. Houston Cougars, dude.
I don't know what this guy's talking about. I mean, he's talking about a 15 seed. Listen, okay, it's going to be good morning and then good night real quickly. Okay?
Real quick.
Listen, it's 2 versus 15. This is Calvin Sampson. Houston is not only winning this game, they're going to roll St. Mary's in the next round. They'll be rolling into the second weekend, okay? Kingston Fleming's top 3 player in this tournament. So, yeah, it's going to be Houston.
100% agree.
Yep.
Houston absolutely going to roll the Idaho potatoes.
And I like potatoes and I like French fries. But let me tell you something.
There's not a bad potato.
Exactly.
French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potato.
But there is a bad potato with the Idaho Vandals. Okay, this team is bad.
Fair.
They're gonna get their butts stomped on by Houston. So
this will be a quick one. We're moving up to the West bracket here. Arizona, Long Island Sharks. Pretty quick. Arizona steamroll with the point, without the points, doesn't matter. They're advancing next round. The Long Island Sharks.
I mean, I love the name. Sharks terrify me. But let me tell you something. If this were Shark against a Wildcat, okay, Long Island would win this battle every time. But let me tell you something. This game is played on the court for 40 minutes, and that's not what's going to happen. Okay, these Sharks are going to be put to rest real quick. Okay, Arizona's probably going to win this game by 30. It'll be easy dubs for Arizona in the first round.
Easy for you.
Oh, yeah. Arizona, yeah. Even though I don't like them, I actually had them advancing to the Elite Eight.
Yeah. If Arizona loses to the Long Island Sharks and the Princeton Tigers in a 4-year span, hang it up. Again. That's it. Poor Tommy Lloyd, former Mark Few assistant at Gonzaga. Hang it up, bud. Okay, it ain't for you.
Villanova, Utah State, another 8-9 matchup where I think the 9 seed is Utah 9. I can't see this far. I'm taking the Aggies out of the Mountain West here. I just think they've just been the better team all year, man. Villanova, up and down team. Aggies clear-cut winners in that conference. Decent competition. The Mountain West isn't like one of these super low mid-major
Not as good as it used to be.
Not as good as it used to be. But they had some decent comp this year.
The Big East was down.
Yep.
The Big East was terrible this year.
San Diego State is a good school as usual. GCU, Grand Canyon University, is a good school.
They were good. Yep.
Boise State had a down year, but they're still a good program.
Nevada in the NIT.
NIT. So like there's probably 4 or 5 schools there that could have potentially won that conference tourney, and you'd be seeing right here. But Utah State, the Aggies, give me them to advance over Villanova Wildcats.
I also have Utah State. Basically ran through the Mountain West. Villanova, very good season. They can really fill it up from 3. Very good shooting team. But again, 8-9, so it could go either way. But I'm going to go with the Aggies because probably they rolled through a conference that maybe wasn't as good as Villanova's, but again, Big East this year had a down year besides UConn and St. John's. So I don't think, unless Villanova makes X amount of threes, it's going to be enough to get it done. So yeah, give me Utah State, the Aggies, to advance and play Arizona in the second round.
Also taking Utah State.
That's 3 for 3 on the 8-9 game. Lock that in.
Yep, lock
there
that
ain't going to be no Villanova victory because tell you what, I'll be texting this group of
I do have a little soft spot for Villanova, though, because the year that I filled in for Cody in your brother's pool, I took Villanova, and they ended up, I think that was the year they won.
What you know about Chris Jenkins from half court? Oh, Villanova.
Nothing. I have known nothing about Chris Jenkins from half court. I don't even know anything about Chris Jenkins. Not even from half court, just Chris Jenkins in general.
Sir, please go to Google. YouTube it. Enjoy the clip.
All right, I will. As soon as we're done with here, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up Chris Jenkins from 3 on YouTube. I got you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we got ourselves Wisconsin at High Point here. Potential upset. High Point is always one of these teams that come in here and upset one of these blue bloods. I don't have them this year. Give me the Badgers. The Badgers are one of only 3 teams that give Michigan a loss. Mm-hmm. Michigan, number 2 school overall this year. I like the Badgers to advance here. I'm not mad if you pick High Point because I could see it. I'm not mad if you take High Point with the points. It could be a close game. But give me the Badgers to get shit done here. Proud program. High Point, they make it to the fucking tourney every year.
Yep. And it's time for reality decided.
It's time for reality. It's always them and Winthrop every year in their conference. And guess what? This year it was High Point. They beat Winthrop in the conference tourney, and now they're going to get their asses handed to them against Wisconsin. Maybe. I got to see what the spread is on this one. I think it's like 12 points or something.
It's 10.5.
Oh, it's coming down, dude. It's coming down, dude, because people are on High Point.
Yep.
People are on High Point. Give me the fucking Badgers, though, to win this one outright. What do you like?
I feel like this is obviously another 5-12 game, so it could probably be a trendy upset pick. I do think High Point, they do play very, very good team defense, and they do shoot the 3 pretty well, so I do think for a half they could keep up for Wisconsin, but to me, that's about it. Wisconsin, way too good with John Blackwell and Nick Boyd. Guard play again. Guards. That's usually how you win games in this tournament and keep it rolling. Nolan Winter, obviously, very good too to lead their front court, but too much guard play, too much Nick Boyd. Definitely one of the best players in this tournament. Wisconsin should make plenty of threes to advance. Should be a good game, like I said, for a while. I understand the spread's only 10.5, and that is probably to some people not that high in 5-12, which is understandable, but you're not playing Winthrop in this game. You're playing Wisconsin. So, give me the Badgers. I picked them in our pool. So they better win this game. Better roll. Need them to win a couple games. So, give me the Badgers.
Taking High Point in this one. The High Point's got less losses and more wins.
This guy looked and saw 30-4.
Yep.
And basically what he thought from that was, this team's going to come in and they're going to be Wisconsin. Hey, you know what? He might not be wrong. But I still think it's going to be Wisconsin.
Listen,
I like the upset pick, though.
I try to pick those upsets because they happen every year, every weekend in the first round. There's always a 12, an 11,
yep,
even a 13.
Yep. Sometimes a 14 if you're 14,
lucky. A 15 if you're even lucky.
Exactly.
If you pick a 15 to beat a 2, you better go play the lottery.
That's right.
I just think that High Point as a 12 seed, I said this is one of those games where I think High Point might be a little bit more hungry than Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
You rhyme it with mansion.
Oh, nice. I like
it. Shout out to T-Pain right there. Come on.
Okay.
T-Pain.
I like it.
We're switching us back over to the big screen because it's so hard to read on your phone. These little ones, it doesn't even matter anymore. So I'm putting us back on the big screen. By the way, High Point and Winthrop, the only 2 teams in their conference with a positive win-loss.
See?
Yeah, there you go.
Like they're not
scrubs.
But that's not good.
It's not good.
They're not scrubs.
They're playing Charleston Southern.
Doesn't matter.
And Radford.
We talked about this with Miami of Ohio. They're beating teams on their schedule. That's all that matters. We just talked. You can't use it against teams when they're beating teams on their schedule and then be like, oh, they're beating teams that are bad. Who cares? They're beating teams on their schedule. They've got, 4 losses this year. They played 34 games and lost 4 times.
This is the guy that thinks the Bills Probably a good victory over the Titans.
Any victory is a good victory.
We're back.
Jesus
We're reeling it
Christ. In here. You win 2 Super Bowls in your goddamn lifetime. Shit on the Bills.
I did not shit on the Bills.
Nobody shitting on the Bills.
You were kind of shitting on the Bills.
No, he was.
You were shitting on me. You were shitting on me a little bit.
No, I was.
Yeah, you can't deny that one. You could say you weren't shitting on the Bills.
This guy might be high, picking high points. I don't know what's going on, dude.
The Panthers.
Listen, if High Point fucking wins, you're the first person I'm texting.
As you should be, and I hope you are. I hope so.
If they win, then I'm winning money.
And I will
taking them with the.
And I will send you back a High Point logo. Yes. So.
I don't even know what their logo looks like, so I'd appreciate that.
It's right there, Jeff. It's very small, but it's an H and a P.
It's an H and a P. Ain't nothing.
That's it. Harry Potter.
That's it, man. Speaking of Harry Potter, I like this game, and it has upset potential. Arkansas at and I gotta stop saying at.
You gotta stop saying at. That's
Arkansas and Hawaii neutral site game, obviously. Dude, this is a game I think I already bet. If I haven't, I'm going to bet it. I'm taking Hawaii with the points. But moving on, give me the Razorbacks. Darius Acuff, he's a problem. NBA ready. Probably going to put up 30 points in this game. Hawaii, the reason why I think this could kind of be close is they have one of the top defenses in the league. They allow the fewest assist ratios in the league as well. They don't let the passes go through. They play very good man-to-man defense. Out of that, what are they? The fucking Big West? All they do is play California teams.
I was gonna say you're picking Hawaii plays good defense against a bunch of no names, dude.
UC Irvine, Cal Poly, Cal State Fullerton, CSUN, all these teams that you say are nobodies. The West Coast, they know who they are. These Cal teams, they got to go from the island to the mainland. The island to the mainland. That travels hard on sea sometimes. That's why when they come to the island, they're lucky they can't get a tournament game there because they're just winning the whole thing.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah, well,
you can't go to the island time, dude. You can't.
Yeah, well, don't worry because this ain't gonna be played on island time. This is gonna be played.
Which is why I'm taking Arkansas on the mainland here. But if this was in Hawaii, there could be an upset alert. Give me Arkansas, Razorbacks. Darius Acuff gets it done. Greg,
I got the Hogs in the Final Four.
the Hogs.
In one of my brackets. I'm not going to lie to you. Plus 1,100. Sprinkled it. Darius Acuff, to me, is the best player in the tournament. Yep, that's right.
Oh.
Over Peterson
Over
and
Peterson.
DeBonsa. Yep, this guy is an absolute machine. He'll score 40 in this game if he wants to. They are an absolute nightmare in terms of how you match up with Arkansas. They could score 100 on you at any given moment. So I don't care that Hawaii guarded a bunch of UC Irvines for 4 months. This ain't Darius Acuff and the Hogs. So give me the Hogs to roll in this game. I think the spread is 15.5. Now, you look at that and you're like, oh, big spread for Hawaii. Don't be surprised when Arkansas wins this game by 20.
They're
okay?
not. Hawaii's keeping it within
I don't
10.
know what Mikey D's talking about, but
Keeping it within
the
10.
Hogs. We got the Hogs.
I'm also taking Arkansas because Hawaii is a football school.
And it's also a very nice place to visit. But again, we're not visiting.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, me neither. But we're not visiting the beach.
No,
we're playing
not.
ball. And
Yeah.
you ain't better than that at Arkansas. So
Yep, I am taking Arkansas over Hawaii.
The Rainbow Warriors.
the Rainbow Warriors.
They're a great football team.
Yeah,
By
great
the way,
football team.
you always take the Rainbow Warriors in college football when they're playing at home because
That is a
99% of the time they win.
That is a
That's
fact.
the same thing with basketball. Home field advantage on the island. Very.
You're traveling
real,
back in time.
Yep,
are.
It's
yep,
crazy.
You are.
You are. Here's a game that a lot of people are looking forward to.
This will be a good
Upset
one.
Central. Another one I like. BYU at. We found out who it was yesterday. Texas beating North Carolina State. I'm taking Texas. I took whoever was going to win out of that playing game to beat BYU. The Cougs. Yes, they have A.J. DeBonta, who has been projected as the number 1 overall pick this year. He is him. He's a very good player, but the loss of Richie Saunders, their second best player on that team, has kind of derailed this team. They haven't looked the same as they did earlier in the season. They've fallen off. Teams have figured out how to beat them. Texas is a good school. They're good enough. They've played good competition this year. I think they can stick with it. It'll be close, but I do have a small upset here. Give me Texas over BYU.
Not bad. I'm going to go with BYU. And it's not my favorite pick of that's
Changing up on the fly, dude? What do you got over there, dude?
Listen, I wrote Texas on my bracket, but I'm going to tell the viewers that I'm going with BYU.
Oh, you wrote Texas.
Yep, because
I was going to say, I looked at his
my
bracket.
bad. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with BYU because I think despite what I've written on my bracket for the 800th time.
Changed his fucking mind, dude. Mid
Listen,
podcast.
You changed his mind.
I did.
You did. You
did.
persuaded him to change his pick on the fly.
First of all, it's the Bonsa, not the Bant, like Mike said. But listen, I think BYU with the Bansa and Robert White, and maybe a little bit of inside play. Even though they've lost Richie Saunders, they played very well in the Big 12 tournament. I think they'll have enough here. Texas did win yesterday, but they weren't all that impressive to me. They did play in as good of a conference as BYU. But I'm going to go with the Bonsa and the boys to win this game. And then obviously, we know what happens after this game, but we'll leave that for the next pick. But give me BYU.
I'm taking BYU as well. I have no insight on this.
I like it.
I'm just here to
drink beer and support us.
Drink
and I like it.
And support you guys.
Yep.
And call you out for picking Texas, but then switching
on my bracket,
to
and then switching to BYU. That's
you better get a pen and switch that.
Yep.
Here's a game where I think that no amount of points matter. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. Gonzaga rolls. Not really much commentary because this is Greggy T's team. I'll let him talk about it, but Zags easy.
Gonzaga under the radar this year at 30-3. So first of all, I want you to think about that for a sec. 30-3. I feel like no one's really talking about the Zags. I'm not just saying that as a Gonzaga guy. I think
it's because you play Portland, dude, or whatever.
Sir, please just focus for a second. The Zags, the Zags,
Pacific, dude. What the fuck am I?
No, Gonzaga had a very good non-conference schedule. They beat a lot of good teams. They are very, very underrated defensively. Should have their way early and often with this 14 seed Kennesaw State. But I'm expecting my boys to roll. Mark Few, until last year, had made the Sweet 16, I believe, 8 or 9 years in a row. So Mark Few in this tournament in the first weekend, it's almost like death and taxes is guaranteed. So don't worry about Gonzaga winning the first game or the second game, but the Gonzaga is going to roll in this game.
All right, I'm looking at your non-con here. There's a couple quality wins, but
there's some games.
Oklahoma, not as great as we thought they would be this year. Creighton, not as great as they thought they'd be this year. Arizona State, not as great as we thought they'd be this year.
Arizona State,
Alabama, good win. Maryland, not good this year.
Yeah,
Michigan, you lost. UK, Kentucky, not as good as we thought this year. UCLA, not as good as we thought this year. Oregon Ducks, definitely not as good as we thought this year. God damn, dude. Your quality wins are over teams that have underperformed this year. You got me thinking now, is Kennesaw State going to upset them? Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
This dude is, I tell you what,
listen,
a couple beers and this guy's off a ledge. This is embarrassing.
At least you guys are taking care of business. Like, you're beating teams by like 20 on average, which is a good sign.
I don't know
where
he's going with this.
You're beating the Ducks, and they had Nate Biddle play like half a season. Shelstad was out for an entire season. It's not a good look, Greg.
Yeah, cool. Take Kennesaw State plus 20. It's going to be a terrible wager, but go ahead.
Listen, if
Jeff, what do you got in this one?
Oh, I've got the Zags in this one. I actually have the Zags in the champion. I have them in the championship game.
This is, I tell you what,
I have them in the championship game.
Jeffy, you know what I'm talking about. This right here.
Jeff knows ball.
Because I get Greg Snapchats at 1:00 in the morning because this is the only motherfucker that I know that's watching Gonzaga basketball.
It's late
until fucking 1:00 in the morning.
That's right.
And I don't just fucking click on the videos. I watch the Snapchat all the way through, and this motherfucker knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He knows his team.
Yep.
And I said, and I did the same thing last year. I had Gonzaga going far because of Greggy T. Yep. I got the Gonzaga Zags.
Zags. Yep. That's the Zags.
Gonzaga Zags. That's the
Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Oh, Bulldog. Okay.
But we call them the Zags for sure. Yeah, that's what they are.
Okay, so they're not the Bulldogs, they're the Zags.
Yep.
They might as well not have an actual second name.
I agree.
So Gonzaga Zags, I have them going. I have them going to the championship game because of Greggy T.
That's right, and that's why we bring Jeffy for this podcast. I mean, that's just mad respect.
Whoa. Don't say we bring me into this. We brought you into this.
That's fair. I appreciate being on the podcast today. It's a true honor.
Maybe you'd watch it a little bit more, and
it's an even bigger honor that he's now picked Gonzaga to go to the final game. Better not fuck up. So.
Yeah, facts.
Listen,
that's right.
I picked them going far last year. If you listened to last year's podcast around this time, I said the exact same thing.
We appreciate the respect for the Bulldogs. Go Zags.
Other than UConn Huskies, the Zags are probably my number 2 team because of you.
Yeah, clearly, Mike. I appreciate that. Clearly, Mike is taking Kennesaw State plus 20. Okay, terrible wager, but good luck.
No,
with that.
I'm not taking it. I actually think I'm taking a Zag on that one with minus the points. the other Miami, the real Miami of Florida, taking on Missouri. I think this will be a good game, but I also have not an upset in this one. Give me the Hurricane, dude. I'll take Miami 7 over the 10. Miami's looked good this year. An improvement over last year. Yep. Totally different team. They ended the season 25-8, 13-5 in conference play. I mean, they played tough competition, and this was a team that was at the bottom with BC and whoever else in that fucking shit conference.
Boston College.
Boston College was terrible
Georgia
every
Tech.
year.
I mean, there's the ACC
Georgia
down
Tech,
here. ACC down here.
Stanford is sometimes down there. They were down there this year. Yeah, give me. Who did I take in this one?
You took Miami.
You took Miami.
Go ahead. I lost my place. That's what
I like the way they've played this year. Actually been very underrated throughout the year. You wouldn't know because the ACC hasn't been that great. But with Trey Donaldson and Malik Renew, guard play and very good forwards too. I think they'll squeak this one out. But Missouri is battle tested because they play in the SEC, which had the most teams make the tournament. Probably the best conference in the NCAAs this year out of all of them. But I think it's going to be, this is one of the more intriguing 7-10 matchups. I do think it'll go back and forth, but I do have Miami in my bracket, so I'm going to stick with it and think they'll have just enough to get by Missouri here.
Also take Miami.
Nice. I like that. Triple lock on Miami.
Yep, triple lock on Miami. Yep.
Florida.
Yep.
I'll take us to 2 quick ones here to close out the West bracket. Purdue playing Queens, and that's not Queens, New York. It's Queens, North Carolina. That's for those that aren't that don't know ball. It's Queens, North Carolina.
Queens.
Fake Queens is what it is. Yeah.
Give me Purdue, man. Not yet. They'll get beat, but not yet. They're gonna take care of business against this team. Queens, pretty good team. Shit, I should have looked up what fucking conference are they in. Like ASUN or something like that.
They lost 13 games in their conference. They can't be that great. I mean, come on. We're doing Queens.
The Royals.
Win more, you'd be a better seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that how that works?
This will be a quick.
Yes, I was right. They were 3rd in the ASUN this year.
Okay.
Good pull.
That was a good pull. Give me the Boilermakers.
Yeah, the Boilermakers.
To just steamroll this fucking team, dude.
Yep. Boilermakers all day. This will be a quick, easy victory for them. They won't break no sweat.
Yep. Same.
Michigan. Going into the Midwest last bracket here, close things out before we go into some upsets. Michigan at 16, Howard. We just saw Howard win against UMBC last night. I like Howard, dude. Their athleticism, man. That's a team that could stick within the number, and that's what you pay attention to what I'm saying here. Stick within the number. What's that number? 31 and a half fucking points.
Yep.
What is this? A high school team? No, this
Division One team.
D1
Division One team.
You're giving them a 31-point head start. Giving me Howard all day with 31. Michigan advances. Easy. Number 1 school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they've ever played a team that has 3 guys above 6'10" in their starting lineup, let alone a 7'5" guy. So Michigan will definitely coming off a loss.
7'5".
Yeah, Daimaro.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michigan will have their way in Buffalo.
He's 7'3".
Is he bigger than Wemby?
He's shorter.
He's shorter than.
How big is Wemby?
No, he's taller than Wemby.
No, he's not. He's 6'4". First of all, Dye's 7'3".
Sorry, Wemby 7'4".
Wemby 7'4".
Oh, somebody said 7'5". I was like, damn.
My bad. I did say that.
No, he did, but he doesn't know ball. All right, anyways, go.
He doesn't know
No, he
ball.
doesn't.
No, Michigan. I do think Howard covers the number, but Michigan will, besides that, roll in this game. So.
Jeff, I'm assuming you're taking Michigan easily.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Michigan.
If he's taking the Howard Bison, we got to get rid of this guy. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. The Bison? I mean, Buffalo Bills people
First off, it's not Bison with an S. It's Bison with a Z.
It's Bison. My bad.
Like the
Bison
Bisons
with an S.
No, you call
That's
them
how
Buffalo.
I've heard it.
You call them
It's
Buffalo
our-
Bisons?
Yeah.
No, they're the Buffalo Bisons.
But that's how we say
right.
it in Buffalo.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
The correct
that's
pronunciation.
The correct. No, that's the correct.
I brought up a Bison for no reason.
That's right.
My bad. Okay, so obviously Jeffy Boers didn't take too kind to it, so I said Michigan's gonna roll.
Yeah, Michigan's gonna roll, but don't tell me I'm taking Howard when I picked Michigan to go to the final or the Elite Eight. Okay.
Nobody said you were taking Howard.
You said I was taking Howard. No, this guy's taking the Bisons. The Bisons spelled it. Said
I hope
it
you
wrong.
don't take Howard. Moving on. Good 8-9 matchup. Another one where I have the 9 beating the 8. Give me the St. Louis Billikens. What's a fucking Billiken? It's a made-up goddamn fictional thing. It's the only goddamn fucking mascot that's been made up out of thin air. Give me the Billikens. Robbie Avila, dude, the fucking player of the conference, A10 conference. We talked about with VCU.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's got all the nicknames.
He's got all the nicknames. What was Stilt Chamberlain or whatever? What do they call him?
Chamberlain.
Milk Chamberlain.
Milk Chamberlain. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Give me the Billikens here with the slight upset over the Georgia Bulldogs, who I did like Georgia mid-season form. They can put up points in a hurry, but also St. Louis can score. This is a team that was averaging high 80s most of the year. Good competition. Had to play VCU twice a year. Had to play Dayton twice a year. Had to play George Mason twice a year. Played the Bonnies, whooped their ass. Give me the Billikens, dude, to get a slight edge. And you know what? I don't know who's favored in this one right now. I think it's like a 2-point spread.
It's close to a pick'em, yeah.
It's close to a pick'em. It's come down a little bit.
Yep.
So call it an upset, call it not an upset. I'm just looking at 8-9 right now. Give me the 9 seed with the St. Louis Billikens.
Yeah, we like the Billikens. Georgia up and down all year in the SEC. Now, great conference, but up and down. Don't know what you're going to get. St. Louis, pretty much the whole year, was the best team in the A10. Obviously, besides VCU, I don't see that not continuing here. I think they'll have a pretty good fan turnout too in Buffalo. And Robbie Avila, one of the best big guys in this tournament that no one knows because they're in the A10. But I expect the Billikens to roll 170 is the total, probably the highest over/under total of the first round.
Sheesh.
So expect both teams to get up and down. But again, just like last year when Georgia was an 8 seed against my boys from Gonzaga, they'll be losing in the first round this year, just like last year. So it'll be the Billikens for me.
I also have St. Louis.
The Billikens?
The Billikens, whatever that is.
It's a fake fucking here.
What is a Billiken?
It's not a real thing. It's so the story is it was like some artist like designed their mascot and it's just like a made up like fictional creature.
Okay, so like a unicorn?
Well, it looks kind of like Harry. It looks like Dobby.
Dobby.
St. Louis.
Is he gonna get a sock? If you give a Billiken a sock?
There it is, dude. That's a Billiken.
That's not Dobby.
All right, whatever.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well,
it's more like a gremlin, maybe.
Gargoyle.
Oh, gargoyle. I
don't know what it is, dude.
I don't know what that's supposed to be either, but it's
not a made up.
I don't even know what that is. That's a fake
Billiken
thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're better at playing basketball than they are having good mascots.
I mean, it's a fun mascot because it's fun because it's different. It's different.
Yep.
It's not like a bison or a buffalo or a bulldog. You know, there's like 6 bulldogs in this fucking tournament. You got Georgia. You got Gonzaga.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the uniqueness of some of these mascots.
I agree
because there's too many bulldogs and bulls and bison.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the Bulldogs.
There's so many though.
Relax.
Owls.
Don't get offended.
You know how many fucking owls there are? There's 3 within the same goddamn conference.
Stop it.
I swear to God, that's how unoriginal you can be with this shit.
That's fair.
That checks out. I don't
see.
Temple Owls, the FAU Owls, and there's one more owl. I think they're in that fucking same conference together. But
all the owls.
Oh, it's definitely the St. Joseph's Owls, but that's in the
no, it's
the
not
A10.
St. Joseph Owls. It's St. Joseph something else. It's not owls. It's another bird.
It's an owl.
Bird. No, it's a bird, but it's not an owl.
Let's focus. We're talking about birds here.
We are.
Here we go.
Let's get
Here comes the upsets.
Let's get
right
back
here.
into
Here we
it.
go. Yep.
Right here.
All right, let's move on to Texas Tech Akron. Another one I like a lot. Give me the 12 Akron Zips over the Texas Tech. Give me the Red Raiders. What are you guys looking at here, dude?
We got the same couple
We're
picks
looking at the
coming
fact
up.
that we both have the Zips in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So
Well, you guys are dumb. But I will take the Zips to get out of round 1 here over Texas Tech, who has been hurt. No JT Toppin. They've kind of been playing a little bit shitty since that injury. Can get beat. And this is a team in the Zips where every year, dude, they make the tournament. They usually win the MAC. They did this year.
Yep.
They weren't talked about because of Miami, Ohio. But guess what? We all thought, guys that watch ball, we all thought the Zips were still the better team. Despite another team going undefeated. It's crazy to say that, but you just can tell that this team winning close games and the Zips blowing people out by 20, even though they had some more losses. The Zips are the best team in the MAC. Give me the Zips to upset the fucking Red Raiders.
This is tough when the bracket came out because, like, I love Texas Tech all year. Christian Anderson, by far one of the best guards in this tournament. They shoot the 3 at an extremely high rate and also successful rate. Donovan Atwell, Lawan Watts. They got a lot of gamers on that team. Well coached. Obviously, one of the best conferences. I think it is a trendy upset pick, but I wouldn't be surprised though if Texas Tech still prevailed because of how battle tested they've been this year in comparison to Akron. But this game just screams points for two halves. These two teams are going to get up and down. They're going to make a lot of shots. Definitely take the over, but I'm going to go with the Zips to pull the upset because we've seen them in person. So this Akron team can really play, and this is no fluke. And if this was with JT Toppin, we'd be having a different discussion. But no JT Toppin, again, you lose your best player. It's tough to continue to roll, and they obviously have not rolled given his injury. So we're going to go with the Zips to win this game.
Yeah, we're gonna make that a sweep. Also, we have some comments on Facebook.
Okay.
Somebody would like to know: is the boy in the middle old enough to have a beer?
Who is that?
That'd be Teffy.
Oh,
the boy in the middle is old enough to have a beard, but I appreciate that because the boy in the middle
you do look
just
a little
shave
young
today, and he looks like.
Yeah, I shaved too before I got here.
Yeah,
I shaved too.
I'm old enough, but I don't look like I should be. I look like I'm 12 years old. So yes, that's a good question.
It's Terry.
Also,
is it really?
Yeah, it's Terry.
Also, green means go sports.
Yes, that's okay. What do you say?
He's questioning why I have the Zags in the finals.
Oh my god.
Well, I told you why I have the Zags in the finals because of this motherfucker.
Yeah,
I don't know enough ball to be like, all right, Zags gonna lose.
So Green,
in the fucking...
just like you didn't know enough ball to just like pick your bracket off of shooting free throws today. Jeff doesn't know ball at all, and he just picked his final, I guess, 4 teams off of just what he knows from his friends. And our buddy Greggy T here is a Gonzaga fan, so he's like,
not even a fan. He's a diehard.
If Greg knows ball and he likes the Zags, he's going to also pick the Zags. Yeah. So
I have the Zags in the Elite Eight. I think we are very under the radar this year. Like I said, we were 30-3. The problem is, I don't know if like past years we have enough offense to get us over the hump to the Final Four and the national championship, but I'm not against it. I've seen worse picks. Gonzaga can really defend this year, and they're in the top 15 in KenPom with offensive and defensive efficiency, and usually that means you will be one of the teams left standing after the first weekend and beyond. So go Zags. I ain't come here to bash my boys. I know what we are. So go Zags.
Can you explain to me and the other viewers that wouldn't know what KenPom is?
KenPom is basically your adjusted efficiency on both the defensive and offensive end of the floor. It's how you play on offense per 40 minutes, plus how you play on defense for 40 minutes against your level of competition throughout the year. And according to the data, if you're in the top 15, do you want even better, top 10 in KenPom in defense and offense, then most likely you're going to not only avoid the early upset, but you will probably be more prone to advancing game by game because you're not just good at one thing, you're good at both things. Now, we say defense wins, but you got to be able to put the ball in the hoop too. And Gonzaga does both things. They've always been a great offensive team. But yeah, that's what I'm referring to with KenPom. Gonzaga, like Arizona and a couple other teams, only select amount are in that top 15 efficiency both ways. And that's why it's actually not as crazy of a pick to make it that far as you think it is.
So, real quick, KenPom's not the end-all be-all, but it is a good guide on a lot of this, and that's what a lot of these guys
I feel better
use.
about picking the Zags going to...
KenPom literally tells you what you are. So, I mean, it's
not...
Top 15 out of 365.
You can use KenPom, you can use Torvik, you can use Haslam. There's a lot of these out there, and they all have their different ratings. So, it's not end-all be-all, but it's a good guide.
Not.
However, I also want to real quick shout out to Green Means Go Sports. Subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel too, the Beers and Buffalo podcast, but also subscribe to Green Means Go. He's got a lot of good content out there on the sports gambling. It's not Chad.
Oh, it's not Chad?
It's not Chad. It's another one though.
Oh, okay. But Chad is on Green Means Go, right?
Well, he's in our Discord with Green, but it's Green's Discord. But Chad also has another channel. Ohio Sports. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. Ohio Fan Sports, I believe it is, on YouTube as well. Subscribe to both of those guys. Let's get back to the bracket here. Alabama, Hofstra. This is one where people might be on Hofstra because of the news coming out of the Alabama camp here. Some players getting in some legal troubles, selling some weed. Jeff's gonna go take a shit.
Aiden Holloway. Hey, come on, man.
Aiden Holloway.
Why you do this to your team,
got
bro?
a brick of weed in his trunk. Look,
He's driving around like it's no big deal.
you can't do that. I'll tell you right now, you can't do that. But also, you don't want to do that right before a tournament starts, especially the biggest tournament, especially a tournament that millions of people are going to be watching and depending on for gambling reasons and just entertainment reasons. Give me Alabama to pull this one out. But Hofstra, I think, is going to cover this one.
Hofstra, from what I've heard,
They can score.
they can score. Very good guard play. Obviously, could keep up with Alabama for a little bit in this game, but even without Aiden Holloway, LeBaron Philon and the boys from Alabama, from the southern region of the United States, are gonna get this done. They're not gonna lose in the first round. I mean, they just were terrible in the SEC tournament. By the way, they're not gonna be terrible 2 games in a row. So, and even though they don't play a lick of defense, you're going to have to outscore them if you're an upset team, and guess what? That's not happening. So, roll Tide in the first game.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of makes me a little nervous is that the amount of scoring that's going to happen. They're going to have to match them. So,
Yep.
Do you know what the spread is offhand?
I think it's like 12 or 13 for Hofstra.
That's enough.
I'm not positive, but
That's enough, though. I think if we give me double digits, I'm in it. If it's 5, 6, 7 around there, I'd probably take Bama with it. They win in the end. They make their foul shots. They'll close out the game. You're giving me double digits plus some. I think I might have to take Hofstra on this one. The Pride. Coach
Hofstra
Speedy.
Pride. They have pride.
The Speedy Claxton, former NBA player, is the coach of the Pride. You know he knows what he's doing. Good coach. It's hard to fade some of these good coaches.
Knows what he's doing, but he's not going to play the game for his kids. And tell you what, they ain't going to keep up with Alabama. So, like I said,
also he's like 70, dude. So I don't think he's going to play either way.
Roll Tide.
Jeff, who do you like in this Alabama?
Oh, I'm taking Alabama, and I thought about taking the upset because of the news that came out about one of their players getting busted for having too much legal marijuana in his car, which sounds like an oxymoron. I think Alabama, covers this first round at least, and I think they lose in the second round. I also don't even think Hofstra is a real school.
yeah, I don't even know what the I don't even know what it is.
That's Hofstra as a first name sounds fake.
That's right.
It just sounds fake.
I mean, Mikey D's going to Google it. Yeah,
Hofstra.
to confirm, but
they're out of Nassau County. That's New York, by the way, guys.
That's New York. Well, New York's got a bunch of fucking weird ass names.
That's an interesting tidbit right there.
So
I didn't know that.
we can't bet on that game then.
Cool.
Can't bet it.
Cool. That's
All right, good.
fine.
For some reason, I thought they were New Jersey,
Can't bet it.
but it's New York, so
Dumb
I can't.
game.
Hofstra, I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't even have guessed New York or New
Me
Jersey.
neither. So
The Pride. Tennessee. What's the playing game for Tennessee?
Miami of Ohio, SMU will play
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yep.
When's that game on? Because I do want to lock in for that. It's
We
9
need to
o'clock.
lock in, and because that's at 9:15, so we need to.
We're wrapping
up.
this up. This will be over by 9 o'clock easily.
Barely.
Barely. I shouldn't say easy, but it will be over. Tennessee at the winner of Jesus Christ, SMU in Miami, Ohio. Give me the Vols. No upset here. A lot of people are taking the winner of the Miami and SMU game. No. Tennessee, Rick Barnes. He's not a good tournament coach. He is a good coach.
Yep.
But he's not getting bounced in the first round. He'll get bounced in the second round. This will be a win. SMU is terrible. I think we all consider Miami who's probably going to win tonight against SMU.
I sprinkled Miami of Ohio money line
It's not on our
and
sheet, Jeff, but
and I
Miami,
sprin-
Ohio.
No, I have it. It's
and
on
I
my
sprinkled
sheet.
the spread
But
too.
that's the playing game. So
Yeah, it's a playing
I think
game.
Miami, Ohio. I think they're getting the lines come down too. It was 8.5. It's down to 6.5.
Yep.
I would like to take Miami, Ohio to show the world that they belong in this tournament. But I don't think they're going to beat Tennessee. It's a tough draw for them, dude. It's a tough draw. There's plenty other teams I think that they could have proven against. Tennessee's a tough draw in the first round. Rick Barnes. Okay, go ahead. Give me Tennessee. Give me the Vols.
What the fuck that
I don't know what he
was
was doing
about.
there.
Picked a fucking booger off of his fucking paper out of his nose. Jesus Christ.
Give me the Vols. Way harder conference than either one of these two teams. Miami of Ohio, SMU. Enjoy whoever wins the game tonight because you're going to get bulldozed by Tennessee in what I think is, out of all the 6-11 matchups, to be honest, the 6th seed I'm probably most confident in to win in
Correct.
Tennessee.
Yep.
SMU has been up and down all year, which is why I think they might just lose the game outright tonight. They could win, but barely. But they don't got the defense or the physicality to hang with Tennessee and Nate Ament projected lottery pick for 40 minutes. And Miami of Ohio should be a fun story if they win tonight. But again, don't expect them to win twice in a row. So yeah, give me the Vols.
SMU went 8-10 in conference.
Terrible. It's not even. Yeah.
Stanford, Florida State did not make the tourney, and they finished above them. So I don't even know how that happens.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. I don't even think
they had some quality wins very early on, but that was it. Who are you taking in that one?
I am also taking Tennessee over Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
So
here's a good school. I like them. They have good defense. Virginia,
that's what they're known
the
for.
Cavaliers against Wright State. Wright State, scrappy school. I'll look it up because I'm drawing a blank. Horizon League.
Yep, there it is.
There it is. Thank God. He got to play Doug Gottlieb twice this year in Green Bay.
That's an easy one.
Podcaster Doug Gottlieb, also basketball coach. Detroit Mercy, the Milwaukee Panthers, or aka the Sewer Rats. There's some schools there that nobody's ever heard of that I'm just name dropping. However,
and they're terrible schools. They're not good basketball schools.
They're not good basketball schools. And Wright State was the best out of those bad basketball schools. What does that say? No upset. Virginia, the guy, their center there, he's literally averaging like 4 blocks a game.
I think he had Boso or something.
That dude had 8 in the last 2 games. 8 blocks. That's Dikembe Mutombo type numbers right there.
This is going to get ugly
Virginia,
quick.
easy, cover the number, whatever it is, wash.
Yeah. Virginia. I don't even, Wright State, cool. You had a fun year. It was nice. But out of all the 3-14 matchups besides my boys from Gonzaga, Virginia's going to roll. This will be easy for them. So, yeah, easy dubs for Virginia in the first round.
Same for Virginia. For everything you guys just
like
said.
Virginia. You like Virginia a lot, though.
Yeah, you like
Virginia in your Final Four.
They're not there. No.
Oh, I do have them in the.
Yeah.
I have them in the Final Four. My bad.
Prelude, a little prelude.
My bad.
Let's get to the next game because this is a very intriguing one.
All right, the last 2 here to close us out. This is probably one of the best games, and again, I'm going to get beat up for this pick. Give me Kentucky over Santa Clara, the Broncos. I'll take these Wildcats. Brand recognition, but also better conference. Santa Clara, cool dude. They got beat up by Gonzaga. They beat Gonzaga. They got to play the Gals. And then guess what? You're playing Pacific and Portland and all these bullshit schools. Mm-hmm. Guess what, though? Now you're going to play some real competition. Give me the Wildcats.
Okay. Well, let me go through that real quick. So Gonzaga beat Kentucky this year by like 50 points.
Okay, well.
And Santa Clara played Gonzaga close 3 times. And I think Santa Clara is very underrated as a 10 seed. Congrats on making the tourney. They deserve to be here.
They do.
As a WCC homer, which I am, I got St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and Santa Clara all winning the first round.
Wow,
Mikey
nice.
D has picked against me in our pool because he has Texas A&M and Kentucky. So I went with the SEC. I went with the WCC. On paper, it looks like Mikey D's teams should both win, no problem, because the SEC was the best conference in college basketball this year. But let me tell you, it ain't that simple. You don't know what you're going to get when Kentucky plays. They're up and down. Okay, you never know. Inconsistent as inconsistent can be. And I tell you what, I think Santa Clara's in a good spot. They very underrated on defense. Very, very, very good on offense. And I think it's going to be a close game, but give me the Broncos, okay, of Santa Clara to pull the upset because they're a WCC team. So, yeah, even though it's 10-7, it would be still an upset. And I think they're going to advance and then obviously get dumped on in the next game. But we have them winning this game. Broncos.
Go Wildcats.
Oh! We're here.
I don't know shit about Santa Clara. You're making me double question myself.
Let me educate this guy. I've been watching the Broncos.
You're educating me. You're educating me.
I will say Santa Clara is a very good school, and this is one that could be an upset.
Yeah, 10-7 is not really an upset.
It's not. Fair. And also, I could see this being flip-flop. I could see Kentucky being a 10 and them being a 7.
That's right.
Santa Clara is a very good school. They just play with Gonzaga and St. Mary's, who are always
fair.
the top schools.
That's fair.
That's right.
This is the shit I don't know.
Right.
I'm getting educated on. So next year when we come on this podcast, I'm going to be more educated, but I'm going to forget all of it. And I'm going to
learn is what you're going to do. Exactly.
I'm going to learn tonight. All right.
Santa Clara went 15-3 in conference play, Jeff. The only 3 losses were St. Mary's, Gonzaga, Gonzaga again.
Okay.
So they win.
Okay.
They win games. They know ball. They know ball.
I kind of want to, even though I have Kentucky losing in the next round, I kind of want to flip my pick, but I'm going to just go with what I have written down here.
Mikey D's watched like 2 seconds of WCC ball this year.
I've
Greggy
watched
T,
a lot of WCC
You know what?
ball. I've locked into
Greggy
a lot
T
of these
locked in.
11 p.m. start games.
This guy's gonna. Are you
11
kidding me?
p.m. because it's all West Coast games.
This guy's gonna sleep.
I've watched Hawaii at midnight, dude. I've watched Hawaii at midnight.
He's got some weird infatuation.
Hawaii starts at midnight on the East Coast.
I understand
That's
that.
right. That's right.
So, Greg changed one of his brackets. I'm also going to flip. I am also going to take Santa Clara over Kentucky. Let's go, Santa Clara Broncos. All right, we're out here.
I like it.
So I'm gonna flip that on my my bracket tomorrow when I go to work, and
As you should.
I'm gonna pick Santa Clara. But when they lose,
You can text me directly and be like, "Hey, you fucked up." That's fine.
you don't know ball.
That's right. That's fine. And that's totally understandable.
That's hilarious.
All right, last one.
All right, last one here. We'll get in some upset real quick, and then we'll go quick because we've talked about them already, and then we'll do our final 4 picks. Iowa State, Tennessee State. I know you don't know shit about Tennessee State, Greg,
Don't know what that
and
is, yep.
there's nothing to know about it other than they're out of. I think they're out of Nashville. Give me the Cyclones, roll points, everything. I like the Cyclones a lot. I got them advancing pretty far as well.
Yep.
This should be a wash, man.
I got the Cyclones around in this tournament for a very long time. Very good on both sides of the ball, but this will be an easy victory. Probably the easiest 2-15 win. I expect them to win by at least 25. So the Cyclones.
Damn.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but they are significantly.
I might lock
team.
that tonight.
Yep.
You
You should lock that in. That's going to be a victory for you.
Greg or Jeff, I'm assuming you're picking the same.
Yes, Iowa State. I have them losing to Virginia in the Sweet 16.
All right. Let's get some quick upsets here. Just changing that up, moving that down. We're good to go. One of my favorites, 4 upsets I got. 6 versus 11 here. Give me South Florida. We talked about this, man. We're gonna go see this one in person, Greg. I just think the Bulls they have enough offense to keep up with them. There's no Mikal Brown. They're just an overlooked school, but like really, if you look at this team on paper, the amount of points they can put up, they can keep up with any of these fucking blue blood teams out there. Elite rebounding, close range shots. They're good at field goal percentage. They can put the points up, dude. They're going to keep up with Louisville and they're going to blow them out. I think this is going to be a 10-point game. I think this is a 10-point game.
I don't know if they're going to be blowing Louisville out, but I do have South Florida winning this game like 85-80. High scoring game.
All right.
So just like the total. So, and it'll be obviously an electric atmosphere tomorrow early in the day. We'll be locked in. So we got South Florida.
There's no E in their name. It's Louisville. You don't pronounce the I as an E. It's kind of like silent. It's just Louisville. Louisville. Okay, you pronounce it right. He pronounced it wrong.
Well, it's Greg. You don't know how to pronounce Louis.
It's Louisville, and people from Louisville will absolutely Louisville.
Yeah.
There you go.
Louisville. Yeah.
Well, you got Louisville in this game.
I do.
You do.
Louisville.
This is one of my.
My bad.
Louisville.
Carolina, VCU, another 6-11 upset alert. Give me the Rams.
It literally is a battle of the Rams. Look at this. Look at these logos. It literally is a battle of the Rams.
It is a battle of the Rams.
And the VCU Rams are going to come out on top on this one.
Yeah.
No Caleb Wilson. We talked about it. Even at full strength, I think they're vulnerable to VCU.
It would still be a tough game even at full strength. But
Phil Martelli Jr., coach of the Rams here.
Very good coach.
Very good coach. VCU wins the turnovers, the rebounding battle. They shoot at high volume of threes. They're more efficient, controlling possession on both ends. UNC's weakness, poor turnover creation, and a defense more focused around rim protection than perimeter shooting. VCU is just about shooting threes, dude. They're going to put up points in a bunch here. Another one here. Upset alert. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I agree. He agreed. I think we all picked VCU. It depends on how their shooting percentage from the 3 is, because we've seen teams have high percentage in the regular season from the 3 and then go into tournaments and just shit the fucking bed.
Oh, absolutely.
Who was the team last year that shot like 10% of their threes and lost because of it? There was a team last year that shot. Oh, what? Now you guys don't know ball? I'm talking
Jeff
about.
just pulled the fucking fortune because he sat out his ass.
Yes, I did, motherfucker. There was a team last year. I can't think of the name. I was hoping you guys did. That shot amazing from the three all regular season. They get to the tournament and they shot like 10. They shot like 60 fucking 3-point shots. Only made like 10 of them. There was a team.
I want to say he's. I mean, Alabama's one of the names that comes to mind because that's what they did.
Alabama sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it probably. I mean, honestly, I think it was Alabama.
It could be Alabama.
And I'm not just saying that to prove his point, but like last year, Alabama attempted like 43s a game. Not saying they pretty much do the same thing this year, but last year that sounds about right. It probably was.
There was a team that had a high percentage from the 3-point line.
Sure.
And then got to the tournament, and they were like, they forgot how to hit three.
It was probably Alabama.
They forgot how to hit 3-point.
Well, here's what I'll say: you live and die by the three. So if you're a good 3-point team, you got to hit your numbers in order to make it look good. So
that's right.
VCU though I think is a little bit more well-rounded than just threes. Alabama is a very 3-point dependent team, but they got some guys too. VCU I think will take care of business either way. BYU at Texas. Guess what, guys? A 6 versus 11
again.
Give me Texas in this one. BYU, I know, Jeff, you were on BYU.
I took BYU.
I like Texas in this upset, though. Just BYU has choked some of these games without fucking Richie Saunders. They haven't looked the same. They've just come down off that high horse. They started off hot. Injury happened. It was a totally different team. They got fucking blown out by UCF, dude. That game just made me think, this is a team I'm not picking in the tournament. When they got blown out by UCF at home in Utah in elevation... Nah, dude, I'm sorry. You let a team from Central Florida just come in your house and shit on you. They won by like 20, dude.
Yep.
Like, that was a bad game.
Those are all valid points. I don't think Texas or BYU is that great, but unlike my bracket, I'm going to take the Cougs. I think they get it done.
Okay. And last upset team I like here. Ooh, Texas Tech, the Akron Zips.
Little kangaroo. There it is right there.
I was going to say, wait a minute. That's a kangaroo. Why does Akron have a kangaroo?
That's a Zips.
That's a Zip.
Zip is a kangaroo.
I know, but why? It's Akron, Ohio. They have kangaroos there?
No, but
it's not Australia.
It doesn't make sense. But
it's definitely not Australia.
This is why we appreciate mascots that aren't popular.
That's fair.
No other
That's
kangaroo
fair.
mascot there.
That's right.
Fair.
Who else is a kangaroo?
Nobody.
Australia somewhere, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, the Australian Basketball Association.
The ABA. The ABA was better than the NBA. We can have a whole other podcast about the ABA and the NBA. The NBA is what it is today because of the ABA.
That's right.
Give me the Zips on this one. I still believe they're the strongest team in the MAC. Conference titles, they enter in a 10-game win streak. Pass heavy, 3-point orientated offense. They can shoot with the best. I know they can keep up with Texas Tech. Zips, 5-point win.
I got the Zips winning by 3 or 4, but an upset nonetheless. They can really, really, really fill it up on the scoreboard. I think the over's a lock, and we like the Zips to pull an upset here.
Awesome. Let's close things out here with our picks. Jeff, I'm letting you lead this thing here. Final 4 picks, and just give me your winner on this one. But you like Duke, Florida, the Zags, and Virginia in the Final 4.
Yep. I have no idea what my reasoning was behind any of these picks, but I have Duke because I have seen some Duke basketball this year just because they are on the East Coast. They are on TV more often than not. And the Zags because of Greggy T. I have the Duke Blue Devils over the Gonzaga Zags.
The Bulldogs.
Gonzaga Zags. They'll never be the Bulldogs to me.
And I'm gonna tell you, if that was the final, I wouldn't be talking to Timmy T or Jeremy for a while.
Because that's right. Fans. They're both Duke fans.
Wouldn't have it. So
shit. I picked. Oh man.
And I understand the pick though, because to me,
I think the Zags are good though.
They are good.
Yeah.
This isn't a terrible Final 4. I think Zags beating
Gonzaga,
Arizona.
I think Virginia is probably my wild card pick out of the 4.
Gonzaga, Virginia would feed families.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
where me and Greg differ from you is on that right side because we have. Foreshadowing here, we all have Duke in Florida, but I didn't want to pick all number 1.
No, I did that
last year. I did that last year. So I picked Gonzaga. I like what I hear from you when you snap me your snaps at 1:00 in the fucking morning.
That's right.
Virginia. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why I picked them. I think because of their scheduling going through the tournament, I think they might have an easier path to get to the Final 4.
I mean, You're not wrong though, because look at if it was I love Iowa State, dude. And
So
if
do
it
I.
wasn't for Iowa State, I think Virginia would probably be up there because of their defense.
Virginia
and they would
really
give Michigan a
surprised.
hard time. Because Michigan, look at a lot of people are going to take Michigan. They've been a top 2 team all season.
Yeah. I probably should have picked Michigan over Virginia.
You could have. But this is such a good defensive team where they can give them troubles. It won't be a high-scoring game. It'll be a low-scoring game. So if it comes down to Virginia versus Michigan, that game will be in like the 60s or 70s, dude. Probably in the 70s.
I agree.
So,
But you know
when
what?
it's low scoring, it usually can go either way. If you get in a shootout with some of these teams and you get them out of their comfort zone, Michigan's running away with that. But if UVA can keep it like defensive, I think they have a chance.
Yep.
Final Four
agree.
isn't crazy. I'll just say that.
For UVA, no, it's not.
It's not crazy. It's
I
a good,
think
it's a good
until
pick.
they get to Michigan in the Elite Eight, I think Virginia has the easiest path to
have
get
a
to the
good
Elite Eight. And there's just something about Michigan that I'm not 100% sold on for whatever reason. I don't know if it's my thinking of football and just
Probably football.
their school in general. I just don't ever see Michigan in that Final Four as much as they should be.
I got you.
For being a good basketball school on top of a good football school.
And who did you have winning the whole thing?
I have Duke winning the whole
Duke
thing.
winning the whole thing.
You know, I think Cooper Flagg should have stayed another year, but obviously we know why he didn't. He fucking making billions of dollars at this point.
Yep.
He's probably one of the first players to make close to $90 million a fucking year based off of the way the NBA is
Cooper
going.
Flagg's a
And
freak. Yep.
Cooper Flagg's so good, and I think they were a year too early. And had he stayed, and had Duke had that continuity, they would have ran through this
Imagine
fucking.
Cooper Flag and Boozer.
I can't.
Yeah.
That's Carlos. That's Carlos Boozer's son, right?
That
Yep.
was a thing. I'd have bet Duke to win the national championship preseason. That is an actual. So
Yeah.
there was those two.
Yeah.
So
Greg. Very similar.
I love that you picked different logos.
I did.
I
it's
love
awesome. I agree. All 4 1 seeds last year in the Final Four. Again, very possible this year because I do believe the ones are cut above the 2s in each region. But you
have a 2 seed.
Yep. But I'm saying. Okay. No.
Okay.
But listen, while it's hard to have chalk back-to-back years, I do think that Duke on a neutral floor, man, even without a Gunba and Foster, very, very, very tough to beat. I think they are by far the best defensive team in college basketball, so I got them getting there. Tough region to many, but I think Duke will be just fine. Florida had their bad loss against Vandy. I think they roll through that region. Toughest game would be Houston, but again, the Gators chomp. They should make it there. I really like Florida. I have Florida and Arizona in my final, so obviously I would have Florida beating Duke. And Iowa State, I think Iowa State is a very, very difficult matchup for Michigan, which is who I have in my Elite Eight. If Michigan gets there, again, the loss of LJ Kaysen I think is tough to overcome. Iowa State with Manchilovich and all the guys they have, especially Timon Lipsey, one of the most underrated point guards in this tournament. I think their defense will be the difference in that game. So I got them, and I got Arizona over my boys because I think Arizona is just a little bit better defensively and offensively than my guys. I feel like they'll outlast the Zags. So that's why we got these 4. And then I got Arizona and Florida, who I believe have been the best 2 teams in college basketball all season on both offense and defense. I think they're both top 5 in KenPom on both sides. And then I got Arizona winning because I just think it's their year. West Coast Conference, a team from the West Coast hasn't won the NCAA tournament in like 20 years. So I feel like it changes this year. So we're going to go with Arizona to win the whole thing. And that's our Final Four.
I like it. And Greg and I, exact same Final Four here. Duke, Florida, Arizona, Iowa State, man, pulling out the fucking classics for the Florida and Arizona logos here. I don't know, man. I like a lot of these ones this year. It's tough to fade Duke. Boozer's just been unstoppable, dude. Like, this guy, he's NBA ready. We know it. Florida's got like 4 NBA ready guys on their team.
Yep.
And they're all in the front court. The only knock on Florida, and it's funny that we all included Florida in our Final Four. And honestly, I think that they have one of the hardest paths, them and Duke. That left side, we all had the same. But I think the left side is a harder journey to the Final Four versus Arizona, Iowa State, Michigan. I think they have easier competition. So I think it's mainly off of brand recognition, mainly off of they've done it before. But I do think they have a little bit more of a challenge. That being said, I think Florida takes care of business against Duke in that Final Four matchup. On the right side, Arizona, Iowa State. People are sleeping on Iowa State because Michigan's in that fucking bracket. Iowa State's a good school. They could put up numbers in a bunch. They've beaten the best. They've had competition in their own division. Arizona, same, man. Like, they've been there all year. They've been a highly rated top 3 team all year. I don't think they've dipped lower than the 3, I believe. Koa Pete was out for a little bit, comes back. They're back to business as usual.
Yep.
It's somebody this year, like, I know what Jeff's saying, like, Arizona hasn't been good in the past. This, I think, is the best Arizona team that they've had. That's the only reason why I'm putting them in the Final Four. I got Iowa State, though, beating Arizona in that Final Four matchup. So that brings us to a Florida versus Iowa State championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And give me Florida to just repeat. I think it's the odds aren't good. I think out of these Final Four teams, I think they have the worst to make it there, to be honest with you.
They do, yep.
Because the guard play is gone. And we talked about guard play this whole time, and actually, I think Florida has the worst guard play out of these 4
But
teams.
their odds are better than Iowa State.
Their odds are better just because it's a 2 versus a 1, but I think Florida guard play is the worst out of these teams. However, they have the best front court. They have a good head coach. They've been there last year. If they can get by, because it'll be them and Houston out of that region, if they can get by Houston, I think they can beat Duke. That's just how I feel. If they can beat Houston, they can beat Duke. And Houston's going to be a very tough out, and I'm surprised none of us have picked Houston. I'm surprised you didn't take Houston over Florida, just because it's the rematch. It's Kelvin Sampson getting his revenge. He probably should have won it last year, and they snaked by, dude.
Well, it's the revenge thing, but again, I just don't think they have the big guys. And I think Florida guards will do enough. I think Florida's the most well-rounded, well-balanced team in this tournament, so I don't think...
If Boogie Flan shows up, because he's so... You could say they're well-rounded, but Boogie Flan cannot shoot them. I think I shoot better than Boogie Flan. Boogie Flan's a very good facilitator and defensive player. Hold on 1 second. I definitely shoot better than Boogie Flan.
I mean, you got an arrow jump shot, so I don't know what you're talking about.
A couple Miller Lights in me.
I've seen this jump shot.
Yeah, it's better than Boogie Flan's jump
You're
shot.
5'6", you can't shoot shit.
Correct, and Boogie Flan's like 5'9". So look, I think I got Boogie Flan on the jumper. I'm not saying I could beat him one-on-one. I just think I got a better shot than him.
Well, you definitely beat him one-on-one.
Well, maybe. We don't know. It's not been proven.
This dude runs circles around you in one-on-one, dude.
The point is, if the guards show up, yes, this is a sweep. Give me U of F, as the hat says on the little Gator guy, to win the national championship back-to-back, which has only happened. I think they're only like the 3rd team that has done that.
So it's not happening. Got it.
So they're doing it.
Okay.
And
this guy just said he can beat Boogie Flan. One-on-one. That was, out of everything that's been said in the past hour plus we've been doing this, that right there, my friends, I don't want you to listen to that. I don't want you to take it seriously. Mikey D, average jumper, ain't gonna beat no Boogie Flan. I don't know what he's smoking. Probably too many Millers, I think, at this point.
I don't even know if he's got a jumper. It's probably just like a get the heels off.
Just like a get the heels off. Yeah,
it's a good jumper too.
I don't know. It's about a mid jumper. So like if you were shooting from like
very
the middle,
mid.
It's mid.
Very mid.
So.
Guys, if you're still listening to the podcast, which I'm looking at the numbers and you're not, everybody's gone. But we did have 23 concurrent viewers on this podcast, which is up there in the top 2, I think. Thanks for listening. We appreciate Greggy T for jumping on this one, giving us some insight in college basketball, because Jeff would have just been nodding his head the whole time and drinking Miller Lights, which is nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No, absolutely not.
But next week, we're going to jump into some Bills and Sabres talk, because this podcast ran just about 2 hours, and we can't go 3 because I don't know if it'll upload. But we'll get into some Bills and Sabres talk. Real quick, though, the Sabres on a warpath, looking good. Playoffs.
Tied for first in the East.
First in the East. Just 9-1 in their last 10 games. Whooping ass. Go to the fucking West Coast. Beat the Golden Knights 2-0 last night. The team looks fucking phenomenal. I don't want to spend too much time, but Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more next week. But this team, they're giving me hope, and it's not even just breaking the drought.
Yep.
But it's actually like, oh shit, this team could actually do something in the playoffs. This team can make a deep run and, dare I say, push for the final, the Stanley Cup final. I'm not saying win it all, but they've got the team, and the way they're playing right now, they've got the hottest goaltending duo in the league right now, in my opinion. And they're getting plays from everybody on the team, not just their stars right now. And that's what you have to do to win games in the playoffs. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll talk more next week.
I agree with that. And then the Bills, some key pickups in the offseason we'll talk about in free agency. A lot of defensive players in the secondary. In my opinion, a little bit too many role players. I'd like us to land a big name on defense as well. But I'm not mad at who we've gotten, offense and defensive, at this point. It's a step in the right direction. There's a lot to be seen with the coaching regime being changed from McDermott to Brady. So I'm trying to stay optimistic about it going in the offseason. But there's more to come on some Bills talk and Sabres talk next week. Greg, again, thanks for joining us. For that being said, I'm Mikey D.
I'm Jeff.
Greggy T.
Guys, we out. The Bills.
Beer on tap, tables about to snap. Wide right miss, take another sip. From Orchard Park to the studio, Mikey D and Jeff with a G. It's the Bears and Buffalo Show.